Like I said, it's still early, and I don't do well in the morning.
Good morning to everyone just tuning in on YouTube. About 7 minutes ago, we started the show. We haven't talked about anything specific other than breakfast round. Made fun of everyone, and JP forgot to turn you guys on. So everyone on the radio just had a good laugh about it. But other than that, when you guys go to bed, some people stay up and work. And I've got playoff projections for you guys.
Why are you doing that? Because
power poll.
I mean, why we do projections on the playoffs? Because at 2 o'clock they're gonna come out with it. About 3 o'clock they're gonna say, "Hey, we messed up."
That's right.
About 3:30 say, "Oh, we messed up again. Sorry about that." About 4 o'clock they'll have it together and we'll know exactly what's going on.
Yeah. Hey. So you guys know today's schedule. Will just broke it down for you. We also have we also have NASCAR Xfinity. We got Xfinity racing today on WCSL. We have Charlotte Hornet basketball tonight. Hunter, almost 10 games in, Hornets are 500 basketball team right now.
My God,
there was at a point this season, Will, that the Charlotte Hornets had the best record in the NBA. And the LeBron's Lakers had the worst.
Oh, how it has changed.
There was a point this season that the Hornets had the best record in the NBA, and the Lakers had the worst.
What a difference a day make.
Oh, I mean, they hadn't come east yet. They ain't come to Charlotte yet.
And then the NBA went back to reality.
Doesn't every time
Lakers and Celtics are on top.
Listen, every time LA comes to Charlotte, they get beat. So they don't want this smoke. They're probably one of the games that LeBron takes off.
They don't want this smoke. Load management.
They'll load management the heck out of the Charlotte Hornets, probably. Hey, look, they had the last game they played over here against the Celtics. They had one starter in double figures. Valiant effort.
That's on account you played the Celtics.
That had nothing to do with it. Devontae Graham on the bench should be starting for both teams. It looks like, and that right, Hunter. After he went off, we'll talk more about that.
I liked Graham when he was at Kansas.
Did you?
I think he's a good ball player.
You know,
I thought he was kind of undersized, but. He makes it work. Kemba was undersized.
I think some Charlotte fans might find out this year when the Hornets go the same record that they've been going that maybe ball hog point guard basketball doesn't always work.
Oh my God!
Ooh, Will, I got some info on that. Well, just for that sake, Will, while you're eating that big thick piece of liver mush.
That's some liver mush right yonder.
Will, only 3 times in NBA history has a point guard led his team and scored in the NBA Finals and won. Magic did it one time. Isaiah Thomas did it one time. And Steph Curry did it one time.
Okay, but they didn't have to be ball hogs. There's a difference.
What are you talking about? They weren't, but they were the start. Will, hold on. Let me finish.
They
didn't over here.
No, they didn't have to be. They had a squad. You just named 3 of the major squads that didn't have to do it. They didn't have to have a point guard to be ball guard heavy.
That's on account of everybody else guarded everybody else, and they gave them opportunity to shoot.
So what my point was, Will, is that shoot first point guards don't win championships. They never have. They never will. There's 3 exceptions. Magic, maybe the best ever. Steph, maybe the best shooter ever, and a lot of people who remember Isaiah, he was the Iverson before Iverson, and the who is it now that's short and can't really duck too much, but still a guard. Give me one, somebody good.
Isaiah Thomas.
I just need somebody good now.
Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah could dunk, but
the new Isaiah.
He's trash.
New Isaiah Thomas.
He's trash. Plus, hip is trash. He was pretty decent for a little while, but anyway. So that I think Hornets fans are going to find something different. Well, a lot of changes this year, Terry. 12 months ago, you could have said, "Hey guys, no Kemba, no Cam, come next November." How do you think people in Charlotte would have felt about that, Hunter?
I don't think anybody would have been watching basketball or football.
They knew Kemba wasn't coming back at this time last year. They knew that Kemba was playing his last year as a Hornet. There was no.
If they did, as a major failure in management for not making a trade. What do you think about that? But you know why they kept him, don't you? Because they had the All-Star game there. They had to keep him. They couldn't trade away and not have
their only All-Star.
Nobody there and here in Charlotte and everybody. So they got kind of trapped in that situation. Had about a week, I think, after the All-Star break maybe to make a trade, and they didn't. And so No Kimba, maybe no Cam, depending on what happens. I've got some news and notes on some of that. Some Kyle Allen news and notes.
I think we need to blast the NCAA today.
Well, I mean, we could do that every Saturday.
I know, but I think today
Saturday.
they're well deserving of it.
What they do to
What
you
did we do
today?
this time?
What didn't they
Wait,
do?
Terry, you're not the NCAA.
You're not the NCAA, and I would
can vouch for 'em.
No, you can't.
Oh, yes, I can.
No, you not on this one.
Well, I'm waiting to listen.
I can vouch for it.
I want to hear this. So come
Yeah,
on with
me
it.
too.
Come on.
The thing that happened at Memphis
Okay.
yesterday.
But tell everybody might not
Okay.
know the thing.
Yeah, okay. Wiseman was the #1 overall high school prospect, and he committed to Memphis. Who's Memphis's head coach? Penny Hardaway is the head coach at the University of Memphis. Penny Hardaway is the coach at the University of Memphis. The NCAA came out yesterday and deemed that Wiseman is ineligible to play because 11 years ago, in 2008, Penny Hardaway helped his family move to Memphis. Therefore, they deemed Penny Hardaway to be a booster.
Cheaters!
Wow.
Cheaters!
Wow. 11 years
Cheaters!
ago, when the kid was probably
Fire the cannons!
not even thinking about playing college basketball, and Penny Hardaway was not even thinking about being a head coach
Hoist the
at the
colors.
University of Memphis. Terry, I don't care what you say. I cannot allow you to give them retribution
You
for
must
that.
always, like in school, be thinking about your future.
Oh, my God.
When you're in the 6th and 7th grade, you should start determining what you're going to be before you graduate in the 12th.
Terry,
It all comes around like
wasn't a bribe to go to college.
And see this, and this was my point coming down the road. I was like, you know what? That's not him being a booster. That's about charity, helping somebody move into a neighborhood.
So will that be like one of your kids coming? Your kids, one of the Boykins kids that he claims, coming like, Will, our house burnt down, something, blah blah blah. He got a place to stay. Will rents him a place when he's 11 years old. 7 years later, Will gets hired to be a coach somewhere. What idiot hired him? I don't know. But the thing about it is, this kid knew that Will's a good guy. Hey, Will, come here. He came here. And he's #1 pick. It's not like he's... Jeez. What if he wasn't the #1 pick? Do you think this would be... What if he was just a walk-on? Do you think the NCAA would care?
No. It would... The story
It
would
wouldn't bat
be...
an eye.
And
The
how
story
long
would
is-
be how great of a guy he was 11 years ago, but because he was the #1 pick,
Yeah.
that's why it's a big story.
How long has this been going on that they've been investigating this?
I have no idea, but it came out yesterday.
That's what I'm wondering, because, I mean, hey, somebody might have made a decision and it'd go back and change, but if
Yeah,
they
I
were
think they're going to
things-
try to appeal it.
Yeah, I mean, if
I
it was
would.
me, I would, because at that point in time, Penny Hardaway had no clue he was going to
Well,
become a coach.
He played last night, wasn't it? Or the night before?
I think, he played opening night.
He played. They told him he wasn't allowed to play, and he played anyway. So it was a game. It was an out of conference game, whatever.
Yeah.
Him and Memphis did whatever, and he played anyway.
Yeah, I mean, because the NCAA right now is under a lot of scrutiny for not only that one, but also what they're doing with the Ohio State kid, with Chase Young. Chase Young took a loan from a friend,
there you go.
from a family friend that he paid off back to that friend.
So Terry, are you saying
But
that
it wasn't-
everybody in the world can get a loan unless you might be an athlete?
Because see,
one
now
day in
I would
college?
understand it. I would understand it if the
Like, what if
school
your
was
family's-
the one who gave
like,
him the loan.
what if-
But
what-
since it's a family
what if you
friend,
sit
I'm just
there at
like,
home-
Somebody that was somebody he's known all his life.
Right.
Yeah.
Just anybody.
And for those of you that don't know what I'm speaking about, defensive end.
it's not like he's at a loan shark.
Yeah,
It's not
Chase Young. Yeah, defensive end, Ohio State. Chase Young. He's suspended for the game today against Maryland, and possibly for the rest of the season because he took a loan from a family friend, and it's paid back in full. Like it's already been paid off, but the NCAA is.
Well, he
And
won't
they're
play
not against that.
He won't play versus Maryland. I guess that's not going to be.
Yeah,
too
no,
much.
but what I'm
the
getting
poor
at-
kid is missing games over
He's-
anything.
The stupid thing about the whole thing is he messed up the Heisman hunt. It wasn't going to be an offensive player.
Yeah,
that
no,
won
it
the
could have
Heisman.
been. It was probably Chase Young.
Chase Young was going to. He is the absolute
Best
best college
player.
football player there is.
And see, this
I
is
agree.
I
I
thought
agree.
the quarterback in North Carolina was. That's what y'all tell me every Saturday.
All right, that's
Only
enough, Kevin.
athletes are presumed guilty, immediately suspended, and must prove themselves innocent. Quite a contrast to coaches facing allegations and FBI allegations and federal prosecutions.
Mm-hmm.
They are presumed innocent until proven guilty Oh, what an amazing concept. That's Jay Billis.
Well, no, I agree with every bit of that because I'm the same way. I think if you're a coach and you end up getting another university structure where they either lose postseason or something away, then I think every bit of that needs not to go with them, but to jump over here wherever that coach went because he's the one that did it.
Yeah.
And he's still coaching.
Right.
Now, I have a hard time with that myself.
Yeah. I don't know, just, those are two stories, and this is the thing, too. Those are two top 3 picks in their respective draft classes. There's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Wiseman probably will go 1 or 2, and Chase Young, depending on which NFL team if they need a quarterback or not, could go 1 or 2.
Any NFL that don't draft Chase Young with the first pick, anybody that has the first pick, Chase Young is a complete game changer.
So you think him and Myles Garrett's going to look good next year together?
Man, he reminds me, and it's one of those things that he kind of reminds me of Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to change the game for you.
Yeah,
and that's what Nick Bosa has
That'd be
done for San
3
Francisco.
years.
Hunter,
3 years
this time
in a
next
row.
year, that kid and Cam Newton could be a Redskin next year.
That'd be something. 3 years in a row. That would mean Ohio State's produced a top 5 defensive end, if not 1 through 3. But I don't. Those whole situations to me, it's mind-boggling because we can sit here and everybody has their grievances with how the NCAA handles certain things. But they're just bad. This is bad. Like, some stuff can be debatable, but both of these are bad.
These are hard.
And especially because of how, these are top-tier players in the respective game, not just their
But for
position.
them to have come up with this, though, Hunter, and that's me, I want to see more of it because there's something in between that we're not seeing. This just didn't happen 11 years ago. Maybe he's continued to help. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I mean, it has nothing to do with when he become head coach.
Yes.
Because nobody knew, Penny's going to become head coach at Memphis.
Exactly.
I mean, I have a hard time with that part of it.
I mean, you got players getting suspended for selling shoes to their teammates. You've got players at Tennessee or coaches at Tennessee for having a hot dog eating party.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean,
Hey,
Coach Pearl's under the same thing in Auburn.
Come to Tennessee, guys, where if you're starving, I can't feed you a hot dog.
Yeah. Coach Pearl, he's under the same investigation at Auburn for something.
Does that mean, Terry, that everyone who comes to our Saturday cookouts at our broadcast, every single person, if you're a high school athlete, do not come to eat with us because you might lose your eligibility when we give you a free hot dog from Dairy Queen or City Lunch.
Do you not know, though, when these kids go in, they go through meetings before they ever start college of things that, have you done this, have you done that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. These kids go into college, and this is what they go through.
All right, so
before
we
it ever starts.
went through that process. A couple of kids that me and my wife were close with, and a couple of our nephews. So we've been through that process before, which is the whole process of what did you do in the past has nothing to do with what they're going to do in the future. Somebody helping you in the past that had nothing to do with Memphis basketball at the time when they helped you has nothing to do with your future work.
But shouldn't that not have come out? Should he not have said, you know what, such and such time ago, Penny did help me do this. That's one of the reasons I'm coming here.
Why?
You
Why-
go through these meetings. He should let that come out.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but why should that matter whether Penny got the ups because Penny was there for him? Why should it matter?
Because to me, that would be the same thing as saying, and I'm just going to use this just as an example, like if you were to say, Roy Williams comes up and says, this is my nephew. He wants to come and play basketball for me. And they would be like, well, okay, guilty by association. I don't understand it. That shouldn't have a. You know what I'm saying though, Terry? It shouldn't be a problem because, like you said, Penny helped him when he was younger. That's great, fantastic. If he has a personal relationship with Penny, then that shouldn't hinder him from having to choose Penny and going to play at Memphis. You know what I mean? Like if I was to grow up and I just knew Roy Williams all my life. Of course, I would have a connection and want to go and play for Roy Williams if I was good enough. So I don't see where that should be a problem.
Yeah, well, I mean, I sat back and like I said, when you go through them meetings, you bring it up, you tell them what happened. Let's do this. Let's say, and Coach Pruitt is here now with us, and that's a good thing on a Saturday morning. But I'm going to get him in on this. If he were the head coach, and all of a sudden he had helped somebody, and Coach Pruitt, I know you've heard about what we're talking about.
Yeah, I heard on the way over.
Yeah. So how would you accept that or not accept that or think it's wrong, or should that have come out before he ever took the oath of saying, I'm going to Memphis?
I think that needs to be in consideration in the society we live in today. Stuff's going to get out there. I mean, it's just the way things are. But I don't know what he was given or what happened. I mean, the thing, when y'all said that, I think about when you think about kids at a young age and how they're going to project for the future, or prospect for the future. I remember seeing Kenny Anderson in Sports Illustrated when he's in 6th grade talking about the next phenom, and he ended up being pretty good.
Yeah.
So the people that's been doing that for a long time, it is what it is. But my thoughts on it is it happens probably everywhere.
Yeah.
And you see the result when a guy ends up being a guy who is a AAU coach who becomes a college coach, and then his AAU players come in and just happens to be the best player in the country. People are going to dig until they find out what's going on with the process.
Well,
but he's when you have a relationship with a kid, that's what you build. You build relationships, and
that's all a recruiting process is.
So his family built it. Did Penny buy him a house? Is that what happened?
I didn't see anything about them buying him a house, just helping them move to Memphis.
Okay, so he helped his family move. So Warwick Dunn has built a couple of hundreds of houses for impoverished kids. One of them was Deshaun Watson. So does that mean Clemson now has to go back and vacate national championships because Warwick Dunn bought him a house?
Well,
I mean,
each
little thing's weird.
To Florida State, I
guess that's true.
But with that said, it is what it is, and I just think it's a
After needs to cheat more, I guess,
that you have to look at on an everyday basis. So it happens every day. It does in the society we live in, and the other thing too, there's a lot of kids out there that need support and help of others around them. They don't have everything they need within the realm of their life, and for them to get the opportunity that this is their gift to get themselves in a situation where they can be like a Warwick Dunn and go buy somebody a house.
Right.
I show my kids the story of Inky Johnson.
Yes.
Inky Johnson is a kid who grew up in downtown Atlanta, Georgia, in one of the worst situations imaginable. And his high school, the graduation rate's less than 50%. The SRO told him, you're not going to go to D1, you're going to go to cell block D1. You're going to be like your uncles. He lived in a house and never slept in his own bed. I mean, it's a crazy story, but he got a scholarship offer to Tennessee and said, I don't want to go to no frat party. I don't want to go to no basketball game. I don't want to go to a barbecue. I want to go sleep in a bed. I ain't never done that in my life.
He didn't do that but one time a week the whole time he was growing up, slept in a bed one time a week.
And he slept with 4 other people in the bed. And then he's 1 year away, just a season away, less than 9 games away from being a first, second round draft pick, and he hurts himself for life. But he had a goal, and it was to buy his mom a house, and he became a motivational speaker. So anybody out there, just Google Inky Johnson, listen to what the man's got to say. But he bought his mom a house with what he did with that, and he talked about how the process did that, and that's great for the kids. The kids that Penny worked with as an AAU coach, he taught them the process, and they're being successful. You got one kid here who's getting punished, and that happens no matter where you're at in life. So I got a conference meeting to go to. I thank you guys.
I got one comment for you.
And I saw you last night. Appreciate y'all being at the game. I'm sorry I was in a little bit of the throes of trying to keep up with the game.
We know. We got to give Coach Pruitt the biggest credit in the world. Hunter was out there chattering his teeth and freezing his bottom off. Coach Pruitt's running up down the sidelines in shorts. Hunter's complaining about the cold. Coach Pruitt's in shorts over here.
Okay, Hunter's complaining. Listen, at one time, I could wear shorts because I grew up playing soccer. So cold weather and
you just said a bad word.
In shorts, I was used to it.
Coach,
I ain't played in years.
It's got you on the first 5 out right now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And
I mean, that's part of the process.
Right.
Should
y'all have more playoff spots? What do you think about the buys in the 1A on that?
The buys in the 1A are the buys in the 4A. I mean, you got schools that have 2,500 students that aren't getting the playoffs because of the situation. It's the system we have now. Will it change? Will we stay in the 20-30, 30-20? That's not been decided yet. Will there be 5A? That's not been decided yet. So the next realignment. But for me, the thing that I have to look at as a coach, and Terry's sitting here, and big West Lincoln man, and he's got a hat on today. I won't say much about that, but looks good.
Right.
And we got teams that we play in our non-conference that. Well, I almost sent a text last night, said, guys, I need my max preps ranking to be boosted, so run that score up tonight. Go Rebels. Go Trojans. Go. I mean, just go get them. Go draw Wildcats. Let's go. And we played Bessemer City, so our max preps ranking was going up. It didn't matter if we won or lost. Now, if the 8-7 score that we had going into the fourth quarter would have stayed the final score, our max preps ranking would be different than the 40-14 score that ended up. They scored 32 points, and credit to them. We were bending and not breaking through the whole game, and it just was what it was. And our kids played their hearts out. A kid like Andrew Beam didn't come off the field pretty much the whole game, except for maybe a couple special teams. Dylan Harden, another kid, another senior. So I hope that's not our last game, but the way the drawings are, the other part of that. If two teams would have broke out into a fight and got, kicked out of the playoffs last night, that would have opened up. So I told Coach Harrell and Coach Powers that, hey, you
pull for anything.
Basketball and wrestling might not start. It's happened before. And,
Dylan made a great throw there in the first quarter, that first drive. We were walking down to the corner, it was right in our face.
I watched, and I watched some film last night. Sammy stays in bounds and puts the ball inside the pylon, and
we thought he scored. We were standing right there. We thought it was a touchdown.
The next play we score, but that's the same play we ran the last play of the first half, and we dropped the ball. What happens if we drop the ball on the 1 yard line and they recover? It takes 7 points off the board.
Yeah.
But every play was important. We really executed, I thought, well in the kicking game. Onside kick.
I saw that.
The guy who I shouldn't talk about calls on the line, but the guy who called it had to look through 3 bodies to see what he called.
Yeah. To me, it was as clean as day.
The other guy came from the opposite side, but it's the call. And I just went on, and I think that's where I've got a little bit better as a coach. But just, little things about the rule book and just things like that. And officials are doing their best. They are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and those guys, that was not a bad crew right there last night. They did, I thought, a good job. There were some times, I think, where we had a couple unsportsmanlike things happen, and they started to take control of the game. But they did a much better job than some of the officials that we had through the year. But I thought our kids really played great to be in the position we were in. Obviously, we gave them 2 points there to give them the lead. But we were in a position, to get the ball back and try to score again. And you never know what happens with momentum in a high school football game. And I just think our kids kept it going. But then eventually – they had 2 fullbacks last night. That's something we hadn't seen.
Right.
They started out with the junior, and then Love came in, and he's a person that's hard to handle. And they did things a little different. They got in the eye last night, and obviously the quarterback can throw the ball a little bit. Number 12 made a big play in the middle of the field. If we can stop them right there, guys, we would have went after the block punt in the first half, and we got it in the second half.
Right.
And if the ball just bounces 2 more yards and another person hits the punter, we pick it up and run it in for a score. So it's a bunch of plays that, and I told the kids, it's not one play that will win or lose a game. It's a collection of them. And through the year, we took our lumps, but our kids kept fighting, and I'm really proud of how we played you look at our game against Pine Lake, that was the best game we played. But honestly, last night was the best game we played. People see the score, they have no idea.
It was a close game.
Yes, it was.
With that big old scoreboard, it said 8-7 going to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it did.
It didn't end up like that. But I thought our kids did a great job, and our coaches kept working with our kids, and we put ourselves in position to hopefully make the playoffs.
We hope
obviously, it would be interesting too. If we would have won, because East Surrey, not many people would talk about this, but East Surrey would go east and play Tarboro if we get in, because we're going to be big. So, if we would have won, it'd been interesting to see how the max prep ranking would have worked out on that one. That adjusted I always have a hard time understanding adjusted max prep rankings.
Well, Keith Fox is still the coach of the Cherryville Ironmen, according to max prep.
I've tried to work on that, and man, it's awesome to go and compete against people like Keith Fox and Larry Boone, great guys that I've worked with before. And just a pleasure to see them tonight and catch up a little bit. We got there and we're getting ourselves out and trying to get the kids in, and we're talking a little bit, catching up with Keith and his family, catching up with Larry and being an AD. Coach, my phone rings all the time, I said, I understand, I've been there one time. And it's, just having a good time getting together. And then one of the kids says, comes from the locker room. Coach, we going out in shoulder pads tonight? And I said, it's 38 degrees. The kickoff, we're going out in shoulder pads tonight. But, they were just, they're in their routine. I'm in my routine. And it's a lot of fun to go over there. Now, that belt's over there now, so that hopefully will be motivation for us to get it back next year. And congratulations to him. I'm on my way to see Larry right now. He says he's going to have me a biscuit, and I appreciate you guys.
Did he give you did you give him the belt last night, or did you bring it to him this morning?
At the end of the game, we had the clock ran, and some time run off the clock. And a couple of years ago, we were over at Bessemer, and we threw a pick 6 on the last play of the game, but there was a penalty. And I told the official, you got to get this call right because my max preps ranking might be dependent on a touchdown. I said, that can't go on there. I can't not get the playoffs because you don't assess this the right way. And eventually the whole crew got it right. The White Hat was not going to change it, but it worked out for the best, and we made it. But last night I was telling him, those 29 seconds could be big for me right here. I want to score. And last week we lost 2 downs at the end of the first half against Pine Lake Prep, though we were winning 13-10. We missed the opportunity to score. They misassessed a penalty, and we, instead of having 1st and 10, had 3rd and 12 or whatever, and we lost 2 plays. The official told me, it's going to be 1st down. It wasn't. So just the communication of the officials. But I was over there worrying about it, and I had sent one of my coaches to get the belt. And, last year Larry come straight across and handed me the belt, and we shook hands. And I was wanting to do that last night. But as I turned around, Dylan got hit on the last play of the game. And I turned around, and I'm looking, and the guys are lining up, and I'm like, okay, where's the belt? And there it is, and Coach put his hands on it. So I walked up to him and shook his hand. I said, I really wanted you to give that myself. Hope you understand the situation he did. So he may have it on here in the conference meeting right here. The Bessemer City B is not on there.
Be clear that someone took it to him. He didn't come digging your chest, right?
No, we took it. He took it to him, straight to him. But I appreciate you guys.
Right,
I got to run, so y'all have a great one.
Have a good Saturday.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
Good weekend.
Appreciate
the Mountaineers play the Gamecocks this weekend. Terry said they might have a run. Thank you, Coach. Thanks for everything. Terry's got a brand new hat. If anything is for sale, it's Terry's head.
It's free advertising space.
That head is for sale. He don't get tattooed, but the head is for sale. Right?
He put a hat on there now. You put a hat on there.
Bring Terry a hat, and he will wear it.
But I've seen you with some hats too. Now you getting pretty close to Terry.
No. I got like 6 good ones that rotate.
You wore that North Lafayette one a lot.
I like to troll my North Lincoln Mustang fans. You like the North Lincoln Mustangs? All right, real quick.
Set of funnies on one.
Oh, nobody told me.
Yes, he is.
Tom Senafani is what I'm guessing, and he told me he was going to call us. I told him just pull over to a rest stop somewhere in West Virginia. Should be nice and easy and safe and warm.
He's probably asleep now.
And
he's been waiting.
Sorry about that, Tom. You could have called it. Coach Pruitt walked in the building. I don't know how long you've been listening.
Wake up, Tom.
But we were talking how good the number 1 pick from Ohio State is going to look on the Browns next year with Myles Garrett. I don't know if you got that part.
I picked up at the tail end of it, and I'm sure you guys are going to talk about what happened to Chase Young, and it's kind of sad. I mean, you can pay the coach $9 million a year, and a kid takes a loan from a friend, and he's a criminal. It's just crazy. But it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is, and it just makes me, not just for that kid, but kids in general. I mean, I know how I was when I was 20 years old. I mean, I would go to Plasma Alliance and sell my blood for $25 for Pete's sake. I mean, I don't know why they're going to hold these kids to this high standard, and you're going to work for a nonprofit organization, make $9 million a year while kids are paying $120,000 for their college education. I mean, it's just everything's turned upside down, and it's really sad. I mean, it is what it is, and if you broke the rules, you broke the rules. There's penalties, but like California is going to start letting these kids profit off their likeness, and they should, because somebody sure as heck is profiting off these kids. So I just don't think it's a crime for them to make a little money off themselves. I mean, a lot of these guys got families, and they got debts, and they got car payments and issues just like everybody else. And it's just not fair. And not only you suspend the kid, then you publicly humiliate him. I mean, you attack his character. And he's not the only one. I mean, there's lots of kids out there, but it's just not fair to put him out there in the public and do a character assassination on a 20-year-old kid who probably took a fairly innocuous loan from a friend, even though technically I'm sure it's against the rules.
Well, one thing, Tom, that's not, kind of fair about the situation is that, like, let's say within the high school basketball kid at Memphis, he has, what's his other options right now? Because the NFL and NBA have these age rules that you have to be 3 years out of college and 1 year out of college. So if they say, so their decision to the kid at Memphis is like, well, you can't play NCAA. We don't care what you do. But the NBA, you can't go to the NBA right now. So these kids don't have these other options. Tom, everybody's wanting to know, like, where are you at right now? It sounds like you're in the car. Where are you guys going?
Yeah, I'm in the car. I'm in construction zone here. I'm headed towards the Virginia line. We slept in a little bit. I stayed and listened to conspiracy theory. I mean, the Renata Lauderdale post game. I was listening to that, and actually I have a little Bluetooth speaker in my shower, so I was like, I'm gonna shower, put Kevin on in there and listen, and then I thought I was listening to a post-game show. Instead, I was listening to a conspiracy about the moon landing. And I'm like, is this sci-fi or is this a football show?
I was just reading facts, Tom.
Okay.
Y'all can have your own theories.
Okay.
I'm just reading facts. Is Anna wearing the dog pound hat right now on the way up there?
The dog pound hat is in it's in the book bag, and she's going to put it on when we get there. We actually have it just happened to line up that I've got my cousin's daughter is having her birthday party, so we're going to head up there. And
so y'all going to wear it?
Get up early. Yeah, so we're going to spend the night and then get up, and we're going to hang out with Danny because Danny's up there. It's going to be a family affair.
Oh, boy. That's going to be a good time.
Yeah, but see, he's got more money. He's corporate America, so he's flying up and back. So that must be nice. Tomorrow morning, Monday morning, literally, I'm dropping him off at the airport as I begin my long drive back. So,
my gosh.
We all make choices in life, some good, some bad, but you know how it is.
Well, I tell you who's got a beef on that one is Anna, and she needs to talk to her terrible uncle about why she didn't buy her a plane.
He should have bought her a ticket to fly back. That could have been a senior gift.
She is sacked out here on the front seat. She went to the senior bonfire for a little while last night, and they have a little tradition where they go have cookouts, and then somebody has a bonfire and hangs out for a little while. So she's a little wore out. I tried to get her to drive, but she's like, nah.
That's right. You drive. That's right.
When you get to West Virginia, it's a lot like NASCAR up there through the construction and the hills. That's my favorite part of driving Ohio is through West Virginia. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Well, I'm here. Just crossed into Surrey County, and there's orange barrels for days, so it's really kind of annoying. And I've already seen 2 state troopers on the side of the road, so trying to avoid orange barrels and Old Smoky at the same time.
Old Smoky.
We got 2 quick topics to talk to you before you go, Tom. East Lincoln is projected to be at Burns. Based on the projections, it could be West Lincoln at Burns, South Point at Burns, Bunker Hill, or Pisgah. All of those are the 4 or 5 teams in that area projected to maybe be at Burns in round 1. So you could get East Lincoln, West Lincoln, South Point again, Pisgah, or maybe Bunker Hill.
Yeah, the one you really don't want to see is South Point. I mean, I know they're having a bad year, but with that offense, it's just hard to prepare your defense. Even if you've already seen it once, it's just they still do it well. I haven't watched them in a while, but you just never know who's got the football. It's mentally exhausting for a defense to defend them. And they gave Shelby some problems for a while last night, so they pulled away. I like our chances against the others, especially at home with Pryor running the ball well. I know we had a guy kicked out of the game last night. Hopefully he won't be suspended. I'm not going to elaborate on that, but there's no personal foul penalties or anything. And then all of a sudden you got a tackle on the kickoff and you got 2 guys kicked out of the game, one for Northcastle and one for Burns. I'm not too sure about that. I'm not sure what happened, but you got to throw a kid out of a game. You want to be sure because he's got to sit out the next game too. I mean, I don't know. I can't really speak too much more about it. He might have done something pretty bad I didn't realize, but hopefully that'll clear up. And then a lot of the other teams, I know that, I don't want to, no disrespect to Terry and the West Lincoln Rebels. I think we'd have a pretty good chance to get by them, or East Lincoln, Bunker Hill. I think we'd have a good chance. You always got to play, though. I mean, you're not going to walk out there and just beat them. You're going to have to play and play hard.
Well, I'm hoping y'all get the West Lincoln game, because we going to sell some hot dogs at that game. Boys, we going to sell some hot dogs, and we going to get some people in the seats at that game.
Play us after Keewan graduated.
That's what I said. It's too early.
Yeah, he was really running the ball pretty well last night. I mean, he looked fresh and fast, and they didn't play him too much. They put him in the slot, and Hopper ran the ball really well. I was impressed with the way he ran the ball. And Degree and Case and Twitty made some plays. They got the ball to our athletes in open space. They did well. Defensive side, they did a pretty good job of stopping the run. I do worry about the straight ahead run. I know you guys have watched us on film, and at times we have a little bit of a problem stopping that run coming right at us. Shelby found that out and exploited that, and that's how they won that game. You're able to churn out some yards, keep the clock moving, keep the ball away from us, and so that's something I hope we tighten up before we begin the playoff run. But I like our chances to get pretty deep in either pretty sure we're going to be in the 2AA. Shelby's the one that's up in the air. Our guys seem to think Shelby's going to be little 2A, but I told everybody, you better just wait till the state of North Carolina and its infinite wisdom comes out with these playoff brackets.
Tom, based on the Surrey 833, Shelby 827, and then West Lincoln is the cutoff line at 826. The biggest 2A school is Bandy's at 818. So there's 8 students between Bandy's and West Lincoln as the cutoff line right now, with Shelby 1 spot ahead of West Lincoln with 1 more student based on these numbers.
So West Lincoln is one flu epidemic away from being a little 2A, right?
No, well,
they're saying.
Yeah, but it's about 9 students away.
Yeah.
Shelby's they only got 1 student ahead of West Lincoln, so based on everything I'm seeing is that Shelby and West Lincoln are probably both going to be too big. I don't see how they can split those two up with pretty much the same exact numbers. So you guys are firmly in the 2A. I know you don't have to worry about that, but that's what I'm seeing on all of my projections online.
Yeah, they really, if you had Shelby in the 2A and Burns in the 2AA, you have a legitimate shot for 3 or 4 state champions in different brackets. But doesn't look like it's going to happen. Shelby and Burns are going to be in the same one. Looks like one to take the other one out. But you haven't talked much about Crest. That how they turned their season around was really, really remarkable. Kings Mountain, I can't believe they end up 3 seed. That's really shocking that a team with that much talent is going to be the 3 seed coming out of that conference. You are not going to want to see them in round 1, Kevin.
Tom, their 2 losses. Their 2 losses are by a combined 11 points.
That's tough. I mean, that's just really tough. And it looks like Kings Mountain will probably be on the road in round 1, won't they, Kevin?
The projection is Kings Mountain of 9 seed at 8 seed West Rowan is the projection right now.
That's just tough.
And then if they in that in round 2 it'll be at Crest again.
And that will be vengeance time for Kings Mountain. I'm telling you, if I'm Crest, I do not want to see those guys in round 2. But that'd be a fun one. There'll be about 8,000 people there, and it'll be the packed house. You want to talk about selling hot dogs? They better get hot dogs, hamburgers, pizza, Chick-fil-A sandwiches. They better have it all for that one.
Hey, and they gonna get a liver mush sandwich up at Crest now. I guarantee you that.
Yes, they will. Yeah, they will. You got to have liver mush, maybe a little egg. Maybe we can get.
That's what Will had this morning.
Out there what did you guys have for breakfast this morning? I'm really upset. I had to toast my own rolls this morning, thinking about, man, I missed out on my bacon sandwich this morning.
Well, you just named what Will had for breakfast.
I had liver mush, eggs, and grits.
And Hunter and I had the sunrise sampler, and Terry ate his before anybody could see what he had.
Well, I'm telling you, I really did miss my breakfast. Tell Terry that, man, I was like, I really do appreciate Terry a little bit more now for bringing me that breakfast. every Saturday morning, get that good Mitch's Kitchen breakfast, and make sure that people down there know I appreciate them.
All right, Tommy. Well, y'all be careful. You're going to Cleveland to see the Brownies. Y'all gonna be in the dog pound. If you see any Bills fans, that means you got to elbow drop them, cut them, do something.
You got to do something.
Bills Mafia comes hard though.
Now you got to. If you do that, you got to go hard, Tommy. You got to go. You got to go Charger hard. You can't go Bulldog hard. You got to go Charger hard.
The Bills Mafia's never been the Cinefonti family either.
I'll tell you guys, I'm just at the point where it's like, man, are we ever going to win another game? I got that feeling again, and we'll see. We got, one guy wearing gold shoes, the other guy painting his shoes like the Joker. We got a quarterback storming out of press conferences. I mean, it's kind of like a bad reality TV show right now. So
sounds like the
hopefully
Browns.
something goes positive.
Hey, I got something positive for you, Tom. I got something positive for you. They're going to win the same number of Super Bowls as 30 other teams in the NFL this year.
You're right.
Positive thoughts.
Always thinking positive. I appreciate that, but I know you guys got some other stuff to get to, so I'll be listening until my phone cuts out in Fancy Gap.
Oh, okay.
Guys, enjoy the show, and I'll be in next Saturday, and looking forward to the first round of the playoffs.
All right, Tommy, you guys be careful.
Okay, man. I'll be in touch. I'll see you guys.
Thanks, bye.
See you.
That's our cross-country reporter.
Cross-country.
National reporter and NFL.
Tommy Cinefonti.
Our NFL correspondent for the weekend in Cleveland. In the dog. We're sending correspondents to the dog pound this weekend.
I was going to tell
Only
him, but
KTC broadcast.
it's funny when I come in here every week and I see this graphic and it shows Browns 16-0.
Still working on it.
Yeah. Maybe next year.
Still working on it. Hey, I didn't predict that. That was Lewis. If you didn't know, Lewis Riddick predicted the Browns to win this week.
I keep predicting them to
Well,
win
I'm going to
every
be honest,
week.
they have come up, and this past week, they talking about disappointments, and Baker Mayfield's number one.
I think you got to point everything at the coach.
I mean,
No, you
well,
don't.
I mean,
No,
You can't put interceptions on him.
You can't put interceptions on the coach. You
Uh-uh.
can't put missed tackles on the coach, and you can't put dropping passes on the coach and missing blocks. You can't.
Got
Got
to coach him up. What do you mean can't coach him up?
Well, it's like I sent out last week. People always talked about Tony Romo. He threw a bad interception at the wrong time. Baker Mayfield throws an interception every game.
Yeah.
Every game.
Now, last year he set the rookie record for touchdown passes. He's still on pace with all these other guys.
Well, Cal Allen's
do the
about to
same
break
thing.
that, so that wasn't no big deal.
Allen's about to break
And it's
that.
the worst thing about it because, a lot of players
How do
saying
we-
if
we'll
you
get on
get
that.
him
We're
to
not even
run,
on NFL right now. I'm still
if
trying
you
to talk
get
my
Baker to
projections.
run, you can intercept him.
Well, that's cute, Terry. They're going to win the same number of Super Bowls as Dallas did
Guys,
this year.
Guess what? I see y'all.
Go Pat, go.
I see
See
y'all.
ya.
All right, Will. You
Be
take it
listening
easy.
Wednesday. Y'all come and check us out on the best of
After the
sports
Vikings
talk
beat
show.
the Cowboys this week, y'all might be in second place.
The Vikings is hopefully
Kirk Cousins stomped a hole in the Redskins' ground, didn't
That
they?
ain't hard. I can stomp a hole in them with my big toe.
listen. We got to lose before the Vikings can even think about catching us because we got game and a half ahead. So we good about that.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the Carolina Kitty Cats this weekend. I'm not worried about the Carolina Kitty Cats.
Freezing weather
Yeah, they got to play in Green Bay.
and the possible
So-
snow. So
And Cam Newton is not playing, and Cam Newton has been our Achilles. He's the last few times that we played, and Kyle Allen is nowhere near the talent that Cam Newton is. So I'm not worried about Carolina this weekend. Promise you, I'm not worried about Carolina this weekend.
Will
are
is
you on?
not
Are
worried
you on to Carolina?
about the Carolina Panthers.
How could Will walk
What he
away
said.
saying that?
What do you say?
I want to know. I mean, Cam lost so many games, then Allen come in and they turned their whole season around with this young man in the quarterback spot.
And we're going to get to that in just a little bit. It's time for about 7 breaks, says JP. We had a big morning call from Tommy. Of course, he didn't listen to his instructions. I told him to call after 9.
He cannot tell time.
They can't tell time. He's in West Virginia right now, so it's the time. It's a time warp. Daylight savings time last weekend. He might not have set his clock back. You just don't know. All right, we do have to take a break. Then we got to get into college football predictions for the weekend. We've got NFL. Sounds like we got all kinds of things to talk about. NBA touch on that a little bit here early on in the season.
Yeah, I guess we can.
Somewhere along the line, high school football scores have got to come in.
Well, Terry, if you listen to KTC overnight, you'd hear Terry Reinhardt scores of the week. And they didn't include Davidson and Pine Lake Prep, Terry. So Terry's going to give you guys the score. And then JP's going to hit the commercial button. And then, folks, we're going to talk about all kinds of other fun things here on KDC Broadcast.
Make it snippy.
All righty. In the Southern Piedmont 1A Conference last night, Bessemer City 40, Cherryville 14, Mountain Island Charter 60, Highland Tech 0. In that series there, Mountain Island Charter leads that series 5-0. Only in one game has Highland Tech ever scored. Thomas Jefferson 56, Union Academy 0, and Community School of Davison 14, Pine Lake Prep 8. In the South Fork Athletic 2A Conference, it was Maiden conquering the number 2 spot with a 49-16 win over Lincoln. North Lincoln defeats Bandy's 50-13. I cannot believe Bandy's will make it in. Newton Conover 42, East Lincoln 21, and West Lincoln no trouble with Lake Norman Charter 56-12.
Terry, Bandy's last year won more playoff games than West Lincoln has in their history.
They probably have. In the Southwestern Athletic 2A Conference, it was South Point losing to Shelby 49-21. Chase a big win over RS Central 42-21, and East Rutherford 76, East Gaston 27. In the Northwestern Foothills 2A Conference, it was Bunker Hill 34, West Caldwell 13, West Iredale 29, Fred T. Ford 14. High Brighton goes unbeaten for the 4th straight year in this conference with a 52-0 win over Patton, and drawn over East Burke 38-7. In the Big South 3A Conference, it's Hunter Huss 19, Ashbrook 0. They bring the bell over to Hunter Huss and keep it. Crest over Kings Mountain 40-34 in a great game there. Forest View upends on Stuart Kramer 41-21, and Burns no trouble with North Gaston 63-0.
You still got another sheet?
Yeah, one more. In the Northwestern 3A 4A, it was Alexander Central 41, South Caldwell 12, Freedom 50, McDowell 24, Hickory 37, St. Stephen's 34. 3 teams finished in a tie with Alexander. Freedom and Hickory all tied for second, and Watauga had the night off, but they had already won the conference championship.
Well, that is a night off. Your conference champions don't have it. All right, so JP, give me 5 minutes. We're going to do another extended break, because here's what's going to happen. There's 2 things I didn't cover that Tom really wanted to talk about, and we didn't get to him because they had other fun, important things to talk about. And then I wanted to get in real quick. Let me go over the projections and what these are saying real quick to give you guys the information before we get into everything else. And then I had one quick question about the 76-27 game last night. Let's see. Last 5 in the 1A, Kip Pride, Cherokee, Community School of Davidson, Union, and Duplin. Last 5 out, Lakewood, Rosman, Cherryville, Riverside, and Pine Lake Prep. The 1AA, 1A split, Hopton, Mitchell, and Gates County are up in the 1AA. It's split between Gates County and Murphy, 482 and 466 students. Murphy and Gates County is the split in the 1A between 466 and 482. The easternmost west team, if you guys can keep up with what I just said, is East Surrey. And the westernmost east team is North Rowan. The easternmost west team in the 1A is Union, and the westernmost east team is North Duplin. A lot of geographical fuzzy geography.
That's just unnecessary
now,
for me.
We could just put them in 5 classes and put everybody in, or we could do all this craziness.
Okay, yeah, let's just screw everybody.
Last 5 in the 2A, East Bladen, Fairmont, Nash Central, Bandy's, and Carborough. First 5 out, Keenan, Richlands, West Iredale, Bunn, and T.W. Andrews. Will, you forgot something in the studios. If you're listening, you left your brother in here. He's flying around the room. You brought him in here. There's a fly that's been bothering us. Will, you forgot to take him with you. 2A splits, Terry. We were talking about earlier. Right now, West Lincoln and Shelby are the 2 biggest or 2 smallest 2 AAs. Bandy's and Newton Conover and Southwest Edgecombe are the largest 2As. The easternmost west team is Salisbury. The westernmost east team, Mount Pleasant. Last 5 in the 3As, Williams, Southern Guilford, Irwin, North Buncombe, and Fike. First 5 out, Hunt, Ashbrook, Western Guilford, Tuscola, and Orange. I think we can all agree Ashbrook really don't have any business being in the playoffs, whatever that would figure out. Smallest 3A schools, Union Pines, Northwest, Cabarrus, and Irwin's. Largest 3A, that's the largest 3 AA's. Largest 3A schools, AC Reynolds, Freedom, and Sanford. Easternmost West team in the 3 AA is Northern Guilford. Westernmost East team, Dudley. Easternmost West team is Southern Guilford, and the westernmost East team is Northern Guilford. So the Guilford's getting split up in county, Hunter, in the playoffs. What?
That's just a joke.
What if they sit Crest? What if they sit Kings Mountain and Shelby to the east and Crest and Burns to the west? That's or in Lincoln and West Lincoln and Lincoln and go west, and then they would have to go to Mitchell, and then East Lincoln and North would have to go to Mania.
West Lincoln and go west. I mean east. We'll go out there. And
You want to play in the East, Terry?
Heck yeah.
Terry, they're
We'll go out there and
volunteering,
play.
right?
I'm telling you. I mean, sometimes you can sit back and say, "Oh, you want to," but I know when the wrestling comes around, West Lincoln will tell you real quick, "Hey, we'll go out east and wrestle all day."
This is football.
It's tough. I know, but it's tougher on this western side than it is on that east. To me.
All right. Listen to the 2 AA home teams would be Shelby, Salisbury, Burns, Ashe County, High Brighton, Maiden, Smoky Mountain, and North Lincoln. In the 2A, Newton Conover, Mountain Heritage, West Oaks, Hanson County, Reedsville, Eastern, Randolph, Chase, Brevard. Terry, what about them Chase Trojans this year? 3rd place.
Proud of them, man.
I told Will last night. For Will, I hope he's listening. On that board, Terry, Crest and Chase both went 9-2. Who did the teams lose to? They lost to the same teams. Chase and Crest this year both went 9-2, and they both lost to Burns and Shelby. Some more fun facts on there, Terry. We were talking about this last night of those teams. Of the top 6 teams, Huss, Kings Mountain, Shelby, Crest, and North Lincoln. That means the 4 Cleveland counties, North Lincoln and Huss. All right, Hunter?
Mm-hmm.
Crest lost to more 2A schools than the other 5 teams combined. Crest lost to more 2A schools this season than the other 5 teams in the top 6 combined, Terry.
North Lincoln didn't even lose to a 2A school.
North Lincoln did not lose to a 2A team.
They lost to a 3A.
Burns lost to 1. They lost to Shelby. And they lost to Kings Mountain. So of the top 6 teams, only Crest has lost to more than one 2A team, and they've lost more than all the others combined. So when you make the argument for Crest fans why they're not number 1, you got penalized for losing to the 2A teams. If you'd have beat one of those 2A teams, they'd be number 1 right now, Terry. Wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would.
So think about that, folks. Crest and Chase are both 9-2, and they lost to the same teams. Here's the other things on it. When you look at those top 6 teams, all the teams in the top 6 lost to teams ahead of them, except Huss, who's number 1, and then Crest lost to teams behind them. So those 2 teams didn't lose anybody ahead of them. All right, some quick fun notes on that. All right, let's see projections. Bessemer City right now projected to have a home game and a bye at the 3 seed, Terry. So they could be hosting in round 2 Union Academy, which they've beat, and East Wilkes. So Bessemer could be looking at a 3rd round, maybe playoff appearance this year.
Sure could.
And if that happens, it will be at Mitchell. Do you have any notes on at Mitchell?
That'll be a tough place to go play. Anytime that our
it's teams, a long ride.
Yeah, go from here to the mountains. I mean, that's a hard duty to do.
All right, last thing Tom want to talk about. I know this is going to take another couple of minutes. He want to talk blowout procedure, or what's it called? How do you handle blowouts in football? A lot, there's a ton of mismatches physically. Some teams have way more kids than the others. Some teams have way bigger kids. What are solutions? What do you do? I think we had one coach in a state. They have a rule: if you win by more than so many points, you have to explain it to a committee why you won by so many more than 1 points, or why you run the score up. And I don't know if they have
say I'm just better.
Well, I don't know if they have a running clock in that situation or any of that or not. So in North Carolina, we'd run the clock at 40, and try to get them to move over that way.
No, I would be up for them running at 30.
Well, that's a good question. I've got a crazy proposal as usual, Terry. You ready for this one?
I'm listening.
I kind of sat on it for a little bit. I was thinking about it. Now you guys bear with me. It's fun. It could pick it. It could fix it. I don't know. Maybe it's fair. I don't know. East Rutherford won last night, 76-27. What's East Rutherford's record on the season, Terry?
1 win.
You can't say they didn't run that score up on that one.
I think it's senior night.
You can't say they didn't run the score up on that one.
I know.
There's no way
I agree.
a team that only won one game this season gets a chance to win, and you put up 76. Now they had it early; they could have put more. But the thing about it is that's
They
definitely
did have that
that's
early-
definitely
early.
putting that's
Yeah, they had
definitely putting
55 at halftime.
Halftime.
now. And you're right; you got to stop us. Okay, that's the rules. Well, how about we change the rules? We institute a running clock. What if this was the rule, Terry? Stay with me. Once you go up 40, now guys, I'm having fun. Don't throw me under a bus for this one. Once you go up 40, you don't get to possess the ball. So, once you're down 40, you get to keep the ball until you get it cut it under 40. Don't matter how many downs it takes, you got the ball. If you turn the ball over by fumble or interception, that team that is winning by 40 has to immediately punt it back to you on first down. And then you got the running clock. The score will never really get above 50 because it can't once you get above 40. You know, if they score and it cuts it to say 34, the team that was up 40, now they get the ball back. Now their backups, the offense can come on the field and try to go back up 40 if they want. We're playing real football again. But as soon as they go back up 40, the other team, they keep the ball. And then they can run the clock out all they want to, Terry. Then you don't have 30. You're not running the score up by 50. You're only ever win by right at 40-something points at the most.
I think in game, what you're talking about there, you would have both aspects of how a coach would look at that. Some coaches would say, just throw a pick, let them cut it less than 40. We get our offense back out there, and your final score is going to end up being 120 to 50 something. I mean, you know,
no, that's impossible. You wouldn't get to score.
Well, they would, because if he throws interception, they cut it less than 40, then I can throw my offense back out on the field.
Well, then you score, and then it's 40 again,
Yeah,
but then you don't get the ball back again. But then it's always at 40.
That's what I'm saying. But then, hey, let's throw another one.
Well, but it's not by 50.
I mean,
and the clock will go a little quicker.
To me,
there's no actual easy solution.
No, there's no easy solution. So this is why this solution that I'm about to say is going to be wild. I say if you're up 45, it's like 10-run rule in baseball.
Is the game over?
Is the game over?
Well,
I do not know a high school team that would come back from 45 down, especially at halftime. You know how demoralized they already are, and the fact that they got scored 45 on in one half.
I mean, we do 10-run rule, mercy rules in baseball.
We do. But now listen to me, because this happened this past week, where a team was playing a unbeaten high school team, and they end up beating them pretty bad, but the coach got suspended the next game because he beat them too bad. He's playing
That's
a
what
team,
I was talking about.
Yeah, he's playing a team that had never lost, and he ends up beating them like 61-15 or something like that. They congratulated each other. Neither one of them had an argument, but he got suspended for his next game because he beat them too bad.
Say same thing in basketball, Terry. Especially in girls basketball, we'll have a lot of. You could see, not necessarily around here, but you can see a 70-2 game or 70-5 game or something like that.
Yes.
So in basketball, what about a mercy rule in that? Like, we have mercy rules in baseball. I guess do you have one in soccer? I'm not sure if it ever gets that bad or not.
It is. If you get 10-0,
it should be 0.
Lord, they need to stop it.
Well,
if it's 10-0.
Well, so let's say, for example, Vesper City playing Cherokee a few years back, and then Cherokee playing Winston-Salem Prep.
Yeah.
You're getting beat by 50 in a playoff game, like, mercy. You doing mercy. You're not coming back, like Hunter said, from 40 down in any high school game, football or basketball. So people don't want to take that away because they don't want to take the kids off the field. We've all come to the game. We want to see our kids play, and that's the argument with that. My proposal was that's how you keep everybody on the field, because then if you're up 40, you can put your backups in. If you're down,
mine
you
would
keep your
only
starters
be
in.
it has to be like that at halftime, because usually that's what it is. If you are at a game until halftime, most of the time there is no refund if something happens.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're there they paid for it. They went and got their money's worth, especially if your team's the one that's doing the blowing out. I'm sorry if you're the ones that are getting blown out, but. And then it would just save you from having to sit there and be miserable and watch your team scrap and scrounge and get beat up really now by second-string players.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. We got like 7 breaks to take. So we're going to do
a
our
bit
best
of a breather
to keep up. We got to take a big breather. Whatever you do, friends don't let friends go to Duke. Just say no. All right, we'll be back. KDCBroadcasting.com.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with my co-host Tricia Yearwood, who was the very first to hear Garth Brooks' hit, Dive Bar.
If he's on to something, he'll just sing it over and over again. And so with Dive Bar, every time I would hear a piece of it, I'm like, I can't wait to hear this thing finish because it sounds so fun.
That's Tricia Yearwood this week on Country Countdown USA.
Country Countdown USA, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts, Christmas at your fingertips.
It's the shopping event of the season, the Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Explore a woodland Christmas with forest-inspired decorations for the merriest time of year, and shop hundreds of booths to find one-of-a-kind gifts for everyone on your list. Buy tickets online and save at southernchristmasshow.com.
Let's go to the Southern Christmas Show.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Wednesday morning from 11 to 12 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Golf Shop Radio, Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at kdcbroadcasting.com. Brought to you by Fred Caldwell Chevrolet in Clover, South Carolina. There's no one like you. And Pandora Jewelry is opening up all kinds of possibilities to show that to the world with the new open bangle. Beautifully crafted from sterling silver with new interchangeable end caps. You can mix, match, and even have the freedom to customize like never before. Shop the new open bangle from Pandora Jewelry now and do see the wonderful Pandora Jewelry. Available at Facet Foundry Jewelry Studios, 530 South New Hope Road, Gastonia. Online at facetfoundryjewelry.com. Remodel and get rewarded with a Cafe Appliance Suite combination from Hendrick Appliance in Shelby. Now you can receive up to a $1,600 rebate with the purchase of select Cafe Appliance Suite combinations. Come in for all the details. Remodel and get rewarded up to $1,600 with the Cafe Appliance Suite combinations from Hendrick Appliance, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at hendrickappliance.com.
Carpenter Porter Funeral and Cremation Services in Cherryville is there for you in your time of need. They're a progressive and comprehensive funeral service provider, promoting the highest ethical and professional standards while maintaining cost-effective service. Funeral directors John Porter, Scott, and Hannah Garrett are there to help you and give you guidance during one of life's most difficult times. For more information, call 704-435-6711. Located at 1100 East Main Street in Cherryville and online at carpentersfuneralhome.net, a member of the National Funeral Directors Association.
Who are you? You're not a goat. Oh, you say you feel like a goat since you didn't buy your car from Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And now you're putting up with a bunch of bull. Don't be like my friend here. You get no bull at Renato Honda and Renato Kia at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard. Don't let another dealer get your goat.
What is the grind? It's a 5-month marathon. It's working to be better every day. It's playing through the pain. It's falling and getting back up. The grind. It's what gets a team all the way to March and then says, we're not done. Every step of the grind lives here on the Tar Heel Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Isolated and alone?
That's how millions of Americans feel while experiencing a mental health crisis.
Need to talk? Our providers love to listen.
Call us now at 1-888-235-HOPE.
That's 1-888-235-4673.
Partners, improving lives and strengthening communities in North Carolina. 1-888-235-HOPE. 235-4673.
Check out the great rates at Pine Mountain Golf Course. Play and ride weekdays for only $21. Seniors play and ride weekends for just $18. Or you can play and ride all day weekdays for only $28. Seniors can play and ride all day on weekends for $25. Make your tee time today by calling 828-433-4950. You'll love this challenging 18-hole par 68 course. The Pine Mountain Golf Course, adjacent to South Mountain State Park. Again, call 828-433-4950 for your tee time.
Some people don't know what a credit union is. It's not a secret club. In fact, the only secret about a credit union is that it's better than a bank. Carolina Federal Credit Union offers the area's best rates, lower fees, and better service.
I'm not just a number, I'm a member.
My credit union helped me get financially fit.
Our credit union helps our family out every day.
My credit union.
My credit union.
My credit union.
It's
Carolina Federal Credit Union.
Contact Carolina Federal Credit Union today and learn the secret firsthand.
If bowling's your game, head to George Pappas, Liberty Lanes in Gastonia. At Liberty Lanes in Gastonia, you'll find 32 lanes, 16 with bumpers for small children. Liberty Lanes is a smoke-free facility with a full snack bar and game room with pool tables, plus a pro shop too, providing bowlers of all skill levels with a fun-filled environment for both league and open bowling. That's George Pappas, Liberty Lanes, Highway 321 South, Gastonia.
Once upon a time is right now. Escape to the Renaissance Festival, a time-traveling adventure. Huzzah! Saturdays and Sundays, October 5th through November 24th.
You'll love the Renaissance Festival.
Incredible value, wondrous entertainment, and delicious food.
Eat, drink, be merry at the Renaissance Festival. Saturdays and Sundays, October 5th through November 24th. Don't miss it. Too jolly good. There's music, comedy, circus entertainments, a giant crafts market, jousting nights, and a feast, all rolled into a non-stop great family adventure. Presented by Pepsi. Discount tickets at Hedestita stores or print your own online at renfestinfo.com. Renaissance Festival, here I come.
Pepsi proudly presents the Carolina Renaissance Festival. Eat, drink Pepsi, and be merry at the Renaissance Festival this weekend. Discount tickets available at Harris Teeter stores.
Here's what's up in Cleveland, Gaston, and Lincoln counties. Brought to you by the What's Up Shopper, Carolina Country, WCSL, and The Boss, WOHS and WLON. The Uptown Shelby Holiday Carriage Rides will be on Washington Street in Shelby, 4 days leading up to Christmas. For more information, call 704-484-3100. A local church is seeking a bluegrass band to play for the church Christmas dinner on December 7th at 6 p.m. For more details, call 704-460-3593. And that's What's Up, brought to you by the What's Up Shopper. Carolina Country, WCSL, 1590 AM and 92.3 FM. The Boss, WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM, and WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM. For more information, go to whatsupshopper.com. It's time to play at the Green Meadows Golf Course on Kelly Road in Mount Holly. Play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. Weekends just $30. Seniors ride and play Monday through Friday for $20. And every Wednesday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for just $15. So make your tee time now by calling the Green Meadows Golf Course, 704-827-9264. Green Meadows Golf Course, 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly.
How's the best way to explain the golf at Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden? It's world-class golf for the working class. Yes, golf is no better than it is at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden, with special programs for seniors, men, ladies, and juniors, plus a driving range, banquet facilities, a swimming pool, picnic area, and more. For your tee time or other questions, call 828-428-2451. The Glen Oaks Golf Course, 245 Golf Course Road in Maiden. It's world-class for the working class.
Community minded, just like you. Community minded, that's for sure, it's true.
You care about the future of this community. You grew up here. You've raised a family here. Your life is here. So is ours. Carolina Trust Bank. Member FDIC.
Community
Visit your nearest Carolina Trust Bank with 2 offices in Lincoln, also in Gastonia, Denver, Forest City, Hickory, Lake Lure, Vale, and Mooresville, and now in Clover, South Carolina. Unless the Lord builds a house, its builders labor over it in vain. This is from Psalms 127, and this verse is what Key Builders in Lincoln is built on. Key Builders in Lincoln is large enough to do what the big boys do, but small enough to be personal. Bring your own plans or visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and view theirs. They have homes for everyone, so call your local hometown builder. Key Builders, 704-735-0040, or visit their office at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
And welcome back to Sam Moore Sports Talk on KTC Broadcasting with Hunter, Terry, and Kevin. I think they're on.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. Thanks, JP.
We just can't stop talking, JP. We're talking about blowouts, how to handle them. Had a rude caller. Didn't even tell. Listen, if you disagree with us, that's fine.
Just leave your name.
Leave your name. Offer a solution. We're just trying to make it better, make the game better. All right, we've got college football stuff to talk about. We'll get into that in just a second. We've got NC State and Clemson today on KTC. Terry, you can listen to Wolfpack on KTC today.
Okay.
You don't seem thrilled about that? Tar Heels almost beat Clemson.
I'm proud for you.
That should give
NC State
all kinds of hope, right?
Yeah. Well, that's like last week. I mean, Joel was here last night. I mean, he went to that game and he was like, "Why am I here?" It was over in the first quarter. You know.
Now he feels like an Ashbrook fan against the Kings Mountain Mountaineers now, doesn't he? See, if you're on the losing end of blowouts,
you don't
understand it and don't get it. A lot of people are awful spoiled, Terry. Crest this year, some fans wanted the coach fired earlier in the season, and they're undefeated in conference champions.
Well, we go all the way back to
Fire
when
the coach.
Yeah, Chris Norman was there. I mean, right off the bat, a bunch of people didn't like what he was doing, but he ended up winning a state title that same year, and that could happen up here.
And there's
Crest.
some schools that never win anything. Terry, how many playoff wins Wesleyan got?
And none. Zero and none.
Cherryville never won a playoff game until they automatically got in the 1A. It never won. Chase, you're in the same boat. Now, so anyway, some people are spoiled. It's like Nick Saban getting on TV and talking about nobody will play him.
Yeah.
Nobody will play in the SEC. Nobody will play him. So it just
Which I find
take a perspective.
Very hard to believe.
Take a perspective and see where you're at. Sometimes you're outmanned.
And do you want to know why I find that hard to believe when Nick Saban, since we're switching over to college football, why I find that hard to believe no one will play Alabama? Because I want people to look at LSU. LSU, let's not forget, is in the same division of the SEC as Alabama. So they don't have to play these two teams that I'm going to list that they played this year that are in the eastern part of the SEC. And they're two strongest. LSU played Florida already this year. Florida was ranked. And LSU, I don't know if it's next week or the week after, they'll play Georgia, who might win the SEC East. So, Alabama, I don't want to hear that no one wants to play you from even your own conference when LSU went out there and played the two best teams in the other division in your conference. I don't want to hear it. That's a crock of and that's exactly why I say it now. LSU to me is going to win this ball game
Basketball and football in college sports have serious scheduling problems with their conference and out-of-conference scheduling. Duke don't even play road games. They don't even play.
They play
out-of-conference road games.
No, they play.
We're not going to do it.
They play neutral site.
Just for years.
Neutral site.
Right, y'all want to come to us? No.
Here's the only.
Never will.
This is the only thing that college basketball does right, and that is when they do the conference versus conference matchups, like the Big Ten ACC Challenge, SEC, and whoever they play challenge. So I think that's the only thing that college basketball can do right.
Think about how good college football would be. It's kind of what you're just talking about. What if you got 4 bye weeks?
SEC Big Ten
This is how easy this is, guys. You have 4 bye weeks, right? You have how many Power 5 conferences? 5. That means in those 4 bye weeks, you play one school from one of the other Power 5 conferences. Simple math. Also, there's 16 teams in the SEC, or in 14 in the Big Ten, and 10 in the Pac-12, or whatever.
There's
enough.
There's 12 in the
There's
Pac-12.
enough there's enough teams in your conferences to play the full schedule.
Because see, here's the thing.
But
I would respect an Alabama more if they weren't playing the Citadel one week. If they went out and played, and it doesn't even have to be the best team in the Pac-12. If they just played like a Washington State,
Apple
or
even play
Utah,
Western
you know what I'm
Carolina.
saying?
Somebody in the middle.
Yeah, someone
Yeah.
in the middle. Not. It doesn't have to be someone that you're gonna, I don't know, high school score them.
Western Carolina lost to Gardner-Webb. Appalachian will not even play Western anymore after they've moved up. And then Alabama puts them on their schedule. Not Missouri, not Vanderbilt, not Kentucky, Alabama.
Not even one of the weaker ACC schools.
It's I don't know. They just got to get that fixed.
They played a
all right.
weaker ACC school first game of the year.
You guys
Dude.
talking about your playoffs? Do y'all want to do that? Or you want to pick the games? You want to complain about the playoff?
I think me and
the only
Terry
thing-
understand what the playoff ranking
well,
is.
the only
first.
thing they did that was they gonna put Clemson at number 5 so people will talk. I think it's kind of hard until Clemson loses. They're in your top 4. I don't care
Guys,
who you are.
Here's what they do. They do it every year. Just stay with me here. In the top, they always put at least 2 teams from the same conference in the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
That conference is usually
the SEC.
The SEC.
Yeah.
Because what it does, it gives them the ability. Watch this.
If
when,
one loses-
when Alabama loses or LSU loses, it gives them the ability to have one in and then just put one at 5.
Georgia.
So then if Clemson loses the one game or Penn State loses the one game, now we have 2 SEC teams back in the top 4.
You want to know though? I heard
There's 2 real quick. There's 2 Big Ten and 2 SEC schools.
Yeah.
Everybody, one of them's going to lose. Clemson wins out, they're in. There's nothing to worry about. It's just like our poll, Terry, right? You just keep winning.
Yeah.
If you go
It'll all
undefeated,
take care of it.
it'll take care
Yeah,
of it.
and that's where I like your rankings and colleges rankings is like that. It really does benefit over who you play during the regular season, and you just got to win. But here's the thing, though, for me. I heard an analyst say this. He's a college football analyst, and I agree with what he said. He said the committee made a statement putting Alabama at number 3 because they haven't lost either. But they put LSU and Ohio State in front of them. And this was his reasoning. He said the committee basically said to Alabama, you have no room for error because you've played such a weak schedule. If you lose to LSU, the one of 2 ranked opponents you will play this year as long as Auburn continued to stay ranked at some point during the year, then you're done. If you lose this game, you're done because you've played nobody.
Honestly, I think this is how they should handle it. And I know y'all tell me I'm crazy about this too. But anyway, the top 5 spots until basically the last, maybe week, why are they not the best team in the top 5 conferences?
Well, that's
because these teams are going to lose. Clemson's going to be 2 or 3 no matter what, as long as they win. So why are we even bothering with the charade of having these teams move around when you could put SEC in the 1 spot, Big Ten in the 2,
that's fine.
ACC 3, and then one of the others 4 and 5. And then you can put Penn State at 6 and Georgia and Alabama.
Well, and what I mean by that as well, that same analyst I listened to, he says, look, I've been talking to higher ups in college football. He said the expansion's coming, whether we want it or not. Might be before it's coming before 2023 when it's supposed to even come into talks. He said that's just where it's going to go, and more than likely it's going to be like how college basketball is, where conference champions gets in. It's going to be automatic bids for conference champions.
Hunter, I want to ask you something. This is me looking at this poll. Is you got your top 5 teams who have not lost.
Right.
And then you got the Baylor on down there that has not lost. But anyway,
I know.
Coming in at number 6, you got Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Why? And this is me. I'm just asking. Why is Georgia this high up?
Right.
And they lost to South Carolina.
I agree.
Minnesota is 17th.
Oh, I know. And
they're a Big Ten school. Baylor is a Big 12 school. They're 12th.
Well, do you know who Minnesota plays today?
This is the difference.
One of those teams.
They play Penn State.
Yeah, they do.
It's 8-8, 8-0 versus 8-9.
But there's what I'm talking about is the same way they would do the ACC. They would have Clemson up there, and then if either State, Carolina, or whoever was still unbeaten, they would be down there with Minnesota.
Isn't Wake Forest still 1 loss?
Yes, 1 loss.
Yeah, they're where are they right
19.
now? They're 19.
19.
So, and I agree on that. I will be the first one to say I think that Baylor should be ranked ahead of Oklahoma. I think Baylor should be
What's
ranked
the
ahead
point of being in a
Oklahoma.
Power 5 conference if you're undefeated, you're not going to get ranked?
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I mean, they're ranked.
What's the point of us being in this conference if it's not going to give us
Oklahoma,
anything?
To me, that loss to Kansas State was a bad loss because if I'm not mistaken, you were at home. So that's a bad loss to me. I would
Who
move
is
them
Oregon's
out.
lost to?
Oregon's lost first game of the year against Auburn. So since then, they haven't lost.
Okay, but see, there's what I'm
That's
looking at.
a better loss than South Carolina.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. I think that Oregon is probably going to continue to win out, and they'll be in conversation to be in there. Georgia's only thing that's going to be in their way is that one loss to South Carolina. But and take this into consideration too, Terry. Like I said, they got to play LSU again. Georgia has to play Auburn as well. So they could have multiple losses, and they'll just drop out of that whole conversation to be
Georgia
sixth.
might be the East Lincoln of our poll, Terry. They're going hanging in early up near the top, and then if all they do is lose 2 games, and then they're back out of here.
And but I agree, Baylor should not be behind Auburn or Florida. Auburn and Florida both have 2 losses. Now, granted, Florida's 2 losses were to Georgia and LSU. So if you want to say they're good losses, then okay, but still, they're 2 losses.
Right.
But Baylor hasn't lost.
2 losses. There's 1, 2. Auburn and Florida are both ahead of Baylor with 2 losses. What Hunter was saying. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2-loss teams ahead of Minnesota.
Which that's to me awful. Is this game today between Minnesota and Penn State Minnesota?
I do got a fun stat for you though, guys. How about this for Minnesota?
Yeah.
This probably might be what the committee's going to do. Starting quarterbacks this year against Minnesota have played a grand total of 1/2. In the 8 games they've played, the team starters have only played a grand total combined of 1/2 of football. They've played all backups in every game. And so maybe that's what they're looking at. Other than the fact it says Minnesota and not Michigan on the helmet.
Yeah.
Think about it, Terry. Michigan's got 2 losses in the same conference. They're ahead of them.
Yeah.
What does the Minnesota Boosters have got to feel about that? Jim Harbaugh's out here with 2 losses, can't beat anybody good, and they're sitting there ranked still ahead of Minnesota.
If they win today, though, how far do they go up?
Minnesota.
They should be top. They should switch
go
places with
top
Penn
10.
State.
They'll be to me that's a top 10.
Why
win,
shouldn't they switch places with Penn State?
Well, that's not going to happen. You know that's not going to happen.
I know it's not going to happen. I said should it though, because Penn State's 4,
But
they're 8-0.
you're gonna
and if Minnesota's
tell me
8-0 and beats them. Why would they not be
beat
4?
them, I'm jumping Kansas State, Notre Dame, Michigan, Wisconsin, Baylor, and Auburn, and Florida to put me in the top 10.
If Minnesota beats Penn State, there should be no reason why Minnesota isn't above Michigan. Penn State beat Michigan already this year.
Minnesota should be top 5 or 6 if they beat. If Penn State's 4, they're in the same conference. They're both undefeated, and Minnesota beats them. How in the world could you ever say Minnesota shouldn't be
Minnesota
in the top
in the
6,
same
7?
division
It's not the worst
of the Big Ten as Ohio State, or are they on the other side?
I don't
because
our Big Ten expert is in West Virginia right now. So
well, let's just go ahead and do some pick'ems.
There we are.
There you go. So no, Minnesota is with Iowa and Wisconsin.
Okay, so if
Ohio
Minnesota
State is with Penn
wins,
State.
if Minnesota wins,
They have
so
an
Ohio
opportunity.
State and Penn State have to play each other at some point this year. So those two will cancel each other out regardless.
Yeah, Minnesota's got a 2-game lead in there.
Minnesota's got an opportunity to play for the Big Ten championship if they beat Penn State today.
Even if they don't beat them.
Yeah, regardless.
They could be playing them again. They could be a rematch in a few weeks.
Yeah.
If Penn State wins out and Minnesota loses to Penn State and then they win out, they'll play each other again for the Big Ten.
The thing is, for me, though, with Penn State, and I've said this for many weeks, though, just seeing Ohio State play, I'm sorry, I think Ohio State is the best team in the country. Yeah. No, I'm not giving Tom that much credit, but I do think they're the best team in the country.
Them or LSU. LSU's pretty good.
Yeah, they're very good.
And I know how this committee's going to do, because once you get to that Final Four, if Alabama's part of it or Clemson, they're not going to be matched up in round 1.
No, they're going to say you're going to be the 3.
1 against the 3, or 1 against the other will be a 2, or they don't match each other.
They want that to be the big show.
Maryland at number 1 Ohio State today.
Ohio State. So.
Number 4 Penn State enters the territory of the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. 8-0. Penn State.
I wish it's a 12 o'clock game
at
too.
Minnesota at noon o'clock.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, this is wild for me, but I'm going to just because I want to see it happen, I'm going to say Minnesota's going to win at home.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm taking Minnesota.
I'm taking Minnesota
I want
to win at home.
I always pick chaos, so I pick for the chaos. So
That's
I'm
fine,
going Minnesota.
and I just know that Penn State's great in Happy Valley, but they're not in Happy Valley.
I eat NCAA people trying to back up their rankings with a spoon. Because I like to do it on Friday nights because I have no opinion on it. And they have to back up their actual opinions on these things. And I'm like, I'm just doing what the standings say. Y'all, this is y'all's opinion.
Right.
Tom, right now, just stop where you're at if you're still listening. For $28 on your way to Cleveland today, you can see Texas Tech at West Virginia. On your way. You go right by it, Terry.
There you go.
Should he stop for $28 and see West Virginia?
He needs to. Why not?
Why not? Both those teams aren't really good.
Tommy, it's on ESPN too.
We'll
I guarantee if y'all wear that dog pound hat to the West Virginia game, you'll end up on TV during that game on ESPN too. What do you guys think? You think you will?
Yeah.
Never. All right. Florida has got a tough SEC matchup today. Since
Florida wins.
Yeah. Now people say Vanderbilt is better than App. So I mean, I don't know how to take this. Florida is hosting Vanderbilt. All right, number 12, Baylor at TCU. The Horny Frogs upset the Bears.
I think Baylor will win, but TCU's a tough place to play.
TCU's good. TCU pulled up an upset last week against Texas.
Can the East Carolina Pirates?
No.
Beat the SC?
Yeah.
Can they beat South Point? Gardner Webb. Sorry.
No.
Western Carolina got beat by Gardner Webb.
East Carolina's not what it used to be.
I'm going to say that as many times as I
SMU.
can. Tom says he's not stopping at the West Virginia game. They might sell beer at that game, Tom.
Man.
Stop at the West Virginia game, get some brews, have Anna drive you into Cleveland. I
want to make a quick note too. The Florida State at Boston College. Have you guys seen whose name's surfacing around the Florida State head coaching position?
It'll be the worst decision of all time.
You think so?
Yes.
Do you know who I'm talking about, Terry?
Deion Sanders.
Really?
Deion Sanders. He said he'd want to do that and probably coach baseball too.
There's a difference between coaching is a dedication to details, and
he's been coaching high school football in Texas, so I mean, he's not like he ain't coached before, but
yeah. I'm coaching high school football. We coach Florida State. There's a little bit. It's just different, I guess. Let's see. On down the line.
It is a 3:30 game. Nice.
What does that mean? The
3:30 game. That means I don't have to wait all the way until 7 to watch LSU Alabama.
LSU at Bama, $310. Are the Tigers on the prowl, or will the Tide roll?
Me and Terry talked about this last night a little bit during a break. We both said we think LSU's going to win this ball game. The only question I have, I don't know if you can click on that game and see what the spread is, because I don't know if they have come out and said, I think Nick Saban said Tua is a game-time decision for Alabama. But last time I looked, it was like 6.5
He's
for
not
Alabama.
playing. I think he would say he's.
Yeah. Somebody said he didn't look right in warm-ups this week.
Alabama's favored by 6.
Yeah, here's the thing. A buddy of mine said if you were to bet on it, who'd you take? I'd say I wouldn't bet the team. I would bet the points and take LSU to cover. But just a gut feeling of mine is I think LSU's going to win straight up. I just think they're going to win straight up.
Well, 6 points, I'd definitely take it.
Mm-hmm. This game, every year, it seems like it's either a blowout on one side or it's a 9-6 game where it's by 3 points. I don't know.
Terry?
I'm going LSU.
LSU Tigers. All right,
go Tigers.
Baylor's only favored by 2.5, y'all, over TCU.
That's why I said it's a scary place for them to go play.
Is it at TCU?
Yes.
Kansas State at Texas. Kansas State beat Oklahoma this year.
That's not happening today. Texas will win.
Favored by 7 at home over a 16th ranked Kansas State team.
Kansas State can keep the ball on the ground. I don't know. It's a tough one for me. I guess I'll just take the home team in Texas.
Can the Demon Deacons
win
on the road in Blacksburg? They're favored by 2.5, 27 degrees in Blacksburg.
Yes.
Tough place to go play, y'all, I'm telling you.
But I'm think Wake Forest.
No.
So I think Wake Forest is going to have a...
They great at home, but I don't know about on the road.
Is Wake Forest...
But now they did lose at home, the Louisville.
Is Wake Forest on pace to play ACC championship game against Clemson, or are they on the same side?
You see, you ask questions, and I have to hit buttons, scroll down.
It's just
You're supposed to know
they're in the
this,
same side.
so they don't have a chance.
They got to
so
play.
you're looking at Virginia. What if Carolina could still play in the ACC championship?
Do we see a Clemson Carolina rematch?
What a garbage football game that would be.
Whoa.
Yeah,
they
you're right.
Played them hard.
I'm sure they did. I know, JP. UConn at Cincinnati, number 20.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's favored by 35.
Yeah, Cincinnati, not a problem.
What about the cover? You got to take
Does
that,
35?
don't you?
They'll cover
35, you got to cover that.
I guess.
Iowa at Wisconsin, 18 at 13. This has second place behind Minnesota implications in the Big Ten.
I'm going to take Wisconsin. It's in Wisconsin.
The Badgers are favored by 8.5.
That seems like a lot. I don't think it's that much.
Right? So you're telling me 8.5 points separates the 13th and 18th team in the same conference?
I don't think
the same record?
I'd say Iowa on the number.
Terry?
I'm going to take Wisconsin because they're playing home is the only reason.
Does Iowa cover? Iowa cover 8.5?
I don't think they can. I think they'll win by a field goal or 4 points or something.
So Iowa does cover that.
Yeah.
Got it. Georgia, 17.5 points favorites over Missouri.
Give me the dogs in between the hedges at Athens.
Yeah, Georgia will win.
Terry, your 4-4 Wolfpack.
Clemson by 34.
Are underdogs by 34 points.
And we're playing at home.
You guys have a better record than the Tar Heels, and they only lost by 1. Appalachian beat the Tar Heels worse than Clemson did. Terry, 34-point favorites. You guys are going to cover, ain't you?
Well, we're too busy worrying about a quarterback spot. We're rotating 3 guys. Last week we went with Leary, and he's a freshman. Don't get me wrong, it's the first time he started all year, but he was 17 out of 45. So, I mean, he's got to – if he wants a starting spot, he's got to tune that in a lot better. But
who Chaz can't go 17-45?
I'm telling you what. I hate it because, I mean, we're playing at home. Here's your opportunity. State plays good, okay, there, but we're not going to cover that, y'all.
You don't even think you're going to cover?
No.
Terry, a State fan, doesn't even feel the cover from the Wolfpack. Tom's coming around to App State. We'll talk about that in a minute. 15 Notre Dame at Duke.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Notre Dame by 8 points.
Notre Dame.
They'll cover.
Yeah.
The Georgia Southern quarterback. Did you hear the quarterback stats in the Georgia Southern App game, Terry?
Yeah.
The quarterback for App was 20 for 50, basically, I think was it.
Sounds like Leary.
And how about the quarterback for Georgia Southern that won the game? You ready? 1 for 4.
Nice.
1 for 4.
It's a lot to do with keeping the ball on the ground.
Clock management.
1 for 4 and won the ball.
Clock management at its finest.
Listen, anybody can play quarterback in college football. That guy went 1 for 4. Notre Dame at Duke.
Took it.
Iowa State at Oklahoma. Oklahoma by 14.5.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Cover
Cover
the
2.
Sooners. They're going to bounce back.
Boise State 15-point favorite with Wyoming coming to town. Cowboys at Broncos.
Boise.
They'll cover, and they're playing at home.
You do not think the Cowboys ride the Broncos today?
No, Broncos ride the Cowboys.
All right, and the most important game of the day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Does it happen twice in the same season? Does App State knock off another Power 5 school today? Terry, Appalachian State, South Carolina, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, think of that, 7 o'clock.
$40 tickets. It's more than half the nation.
On ESPN2
on
as well.
ESPN Deuce. Hey, it only cost $1 more to see Clemson NC State. You can see App State, South Carolina for $1 less.
This is my deal. Appalachian ought to be proud. This game's at 7 o'clock. Most of the time, if you got Appalachian playing South Carolina, this game's going to be 12 noon, 3 o'clock.
It's a primetime game, technically.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, here it is 7 o'clock. So they're giving you credit for App.
Prime time.
But I don't think
ESPN2.
I don't think they can beat South Carolina.
Easy. Can.
I mean, I hope they do.
Did North Carolina beat South Carolina
this year?
this
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I
South
hope
Carolina
they can.
beat Georgia.
So they definitely can, Terry.
I don't think they will.
Is it there? You go. That's a different word. We can't see. I tell y'all a fun story I like to tell. Growing up, one of my favorite books in school, series was called Can Do and Will Do. You ever heard of them?
No.
They're basically
read.
They're basically hand puppets. Look like little Gumbies or something, just blobs of nothing. But one was Can Do, and one was Will Do. So Hunter will do it, but can he do it?
Maybe.
Terry can do it, but will he do it? You see what I mean?
Appalachian can do
win,
it, but will they? I don't know. This is in Columbia. South Carolina always plays hard at home. I'm going to be honest. I would like to see Appalachian State beat South Carolina.
I would too.
To me, you know, but
have two big
but it's gonna be
victories like
tough.
that.
Here's where
if South Carolina plays like how they did against Georgia, I'll be honest. Now Georgia shot themselves in the foot a lot, but still, if South Carolina plays like that, they will win this game.
6-point favorite is South Carolina. App was ranked last week.
Then
if they
lost.
would be ranked, they'd be about 19th right now if they didn't lose.
Yeah.
If they didn't lose by 3 points to just a dumb loss. But anyway, that's a good program. It's always been in their bottoms. Terry, here's where App has a key to victory today. The secret is in the temperature. South Carolina, Columbia is usually the hottest place in the world. If this game was in August, I would say South Carolina by 2 touchdowns, maybe 3. It's going to be 35 degrees is the high in South Carolina today, boys.
It's going to be
Appalachian
cold.
State weather. South Carolina really are going to be playing not to lose this game. App's got a chance to get in them. They got a chance if they pull it off.
South Carolina is looking for some sort of bowl eligibility if they can get close to 6 wins, so they're going to try and win this game.
All right, who you got? App to cover or win? App to cover or win. Over-under is 51 total points.
I'll take
the over on that point.
Over.
On the points.
I don't know about the over. I would take the under just because, I know Appalachian can score because they've scored with people, but I don't know if South Carolina can score. So, therefore, I don't know. I don't think Appalachian is going to get 51 by themselves.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to take Appalachian to win in South Carolina with the under.
I'm going to pick the score forever and always. I think it was 34-32 App over Michigan. 34-32 App over South Carolina. They beat North Carolina, I think, 34-31. Something like one or reversed. Either one. App's getting 34. They're going to win by 3 or 4.
I got South Carolina by 10.
Might. Never know.
All right.
That's how those games go.
Yeah. I hope Appalachian wins.
All right, folks, time to take a break. JP, you ready? Let's take a break. We'll be back. We got NFL, NBA, NASCAR, and more on KDC Broadcasting.
Hey, Tiger fans, be sure and head to ClemsonTigers.com to check out the Clemson men's basketball schedule as the next home game is right around the corner. While you are there, you can purchase tickets as well as take a look at promotional information and even purchase your gear for the game. It's available for you right there on ClemsonTigers.com. Join Coach Brownell and your Clemson Tigers as the action heats up in Little John Coliseum. We'll see you there.
Make your business or office a Boss of Carolina Country listener post. All you have to do is tune your radio in your business or office to 101.5 FM, 107.5 FM, or 92.3 FM. Let us know and we'll put your name on the radio. And each month we'll have a drawing from our area listening post for a dozen breakfast biscuits from the Creekside Clock Restaurant in Shelby, along with coffee or tea. Area listening posts include Promotion Motors in Lincoln, Cherryville Signs and Graphics, Lowe's in Lincoln, Watson Carpet and Tile Lincoln, RD Mattress Cherryville, Carolina Furniture in Lincoln, Memory Lane in Krause, Davis Brothers Automotive in Lincoln, It's Your Feed in Cherryville, Deja Vu Consignments in Cherryville. So make your business or office a Boss or Carolina Country listening post today.
When you shop our local advertisers, be sure to tell them you heard it on the radio. That way they'll know that their radio dollars they spend works for them and you too. Even in today's fast-moving world, radio remains the leading media to reach more people. 93% of Americans listen to AM/FM radio over the air. TV viewership is 89%, smartphone use is 83%, and personal computer use is 50%. So if you're a business owner, reach more people with the power of radio. If you don't tell it, you can't sell it. See the power of radio. WHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL Cherryville. Online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
Mason Whitaker of Lincoln High School is this month's McDonald's KTC Broadcasting What's Up Shopper Scholar Athlete of the Month. Mason is a junior at Lincoln and is the son of Kevin and Emily Whitaker. Mason is a center striker for the Lincoln soccer team. He also plays football and wrestles. Mason has a grade point average of 4.4792 with advanced courses in calculus, Adobe Digital, and video design. He is a member of the Beta Club and FCA. He's a member of the Lincoln County Sheriff's Explorers and a junior class student representative. After graduation, Mason would like to play soccer in college and study architectural design. The Scholar Athlete of the Month is sponsored by McDonald's, the What's Up Shopper, and KTC Broadcasting.
It takes more than a business card to make your name as a pro. You need power, you need speed, and the freedom to do it your way. Introducing the new RS Mower Series from Bobcat. Backed by our industry-leading Mow with Confidence 6-year limited warranty. Because you're in this to make money, this lineup of fierce machines is built for professionals like you. Bobcat, fiercely independent. Visit your local dealer for a demo or head to bobcatturf.com to learn more.
This area's Bobcat dealer is Western Sales, Highway 18 north of the 27 intersection west in Vale. Just say fill her up. Be ready for Old Man Winter with a fill-up from Rhodes & Bill Oil Company in Lincoln. No matter where you live, Rhodes & Bill Oil Company in Lincoln can deliver. Just call 704-735-2508. Be ready for Old Man Winter with your winter fill-up from Rhodes & Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Again, call 704-735-2508. Just say fill her up from Rhodes & Bill Oil Company in Lincoln.
And welcome back to Sam Moore Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. They're talking sports, and more sports, which means I need to stop talking.
We could have a show of us talking in silence and JP introducing and just in their own entering his inner ramblings.
Yeah, pony and baloney.
Pony and baloney rhyme.
Yeah.
Explain that. We've got all kinds of educators. Tom, if you're riding and still can hear, we want to know why cough, rough, though, and through do not rhyme. Spelled almost exactly the same. O-U-G-H. But pony and baloney are exactly the same.
That's what we do in between time.
Did you know that bologna is a hot dog pancake?
Yeah. I bet you didn't know what my father calls bologna.
What?
He calls it a fillet of mule's hoof.
A fillet of mule.
A fillet of mule's hoof.
All right.
Yeah.
NFL. Hunter's in here complaining about his Redskins. We're probably not going to get into that again.
No, we don't have to.
Terry, let's go over to your NFL standings of the week. This weekend, we heard Ken call in last night, and Will said he don't have any problems this morning. This week, the Panthers put Cam Newton on injured reserve.
Mm-hmm.
Been saying it for a few weeks. This was the exact situation that happened to Tony Romo. That Panther fans need to realize what's happening, see what's going on around him, and you can make all the arguments all you want about who you think's better or not, but that doesn't matter. And it didn't matter. It matters with who's winning. It matters how much it cost for them to win.
Oh yeah.
So I did a little research on the Kyle Allen situation, and Schefter and them were reporting this morning and last night a little bit on it. Basically, guys, they can tag him the next 2 years for under $1 million a year. Then the third year, there's another special restricted agent tag that would be about $5 million a year. So for the next 3 years,
they could just
the Panthers can control Kyle Allen's contract unless he holds out at 3 years for a grand total of $7 million.
They can build that team around him.
Cam's getting paid $19 million. That means there's $13 million to spend on other players.
And not only
other free
that,
agents.
if you're not sold on Kyle Allen and you don't like,
you've already drafted Will Grier.
You've drafted Will Grier, and not only
you've got
that,
3 years to figure out. You've actually have 3 years to figure out if Will Grier's any good.
Yeah, and if you don't like him next year,
still
you tank, and guess who's coming out? The kid that's in South Carolina right now at Clemson, Trevor Lawrence. So look, There are plans that you can implement in place. It's just whether or not you want to make your fan base really, really mad. And if you're a business, you can't really worry about how everybody else is feeling. You gotta try and go for wins. And what's the formula we've seen so far? Quarterback, rookie contract, build around him, and you win championships.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's trying to do it. That's what everybody's trying to do it. Unless you've got just a Hall of Famer sitting there, but they come around maybe once in a blue moon. So I don't know that the situation in Carolina. And this is what I've told people, and they agree with me. It's like it's a good bad problem. You know what I'm saying? Like you got 2 good capable quarterbacks, 3 possibly if Will Grier can play. So now it just comes down to who do you commit to.
Somewhere along the line, Will Grier is not producing or doing something because he's not even getting the opportunity.
Right.
You know, so
Well, Kyle Allen looked that great, I guess, too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know, but Allen, as soon as Allen's come in, he's almost took the spot in there winning, and that's the biggest thing.
I wonder
if they were losing, you might have already seen Will Grier.
Yeah.
Right. I agree, too,
I agree,
on that.
and I'm wondering, too, is, you know, they said Will Grier was an insurance policy when they picked him in case Cam went down, but obviously we see they're going with Allen. I wonder if they took Grier also for ticket sales.
Listen,
he was from the area. He went to Davidson Day.
If they make a playoff run or make the playoffs with Allen, even if they make a run, you can
think
say
they're still in wild card hunt.
They're
right
in
now.
the 8th spot, I think, right now. I'm about to click on it in just a second. Or 7th spot. They're out of the playoffs for the time being. But, you know, if they make a playoff run with him or get close or like I said, you only can commit $7 million for 3 years for the next 3 years total. So there's so much money that's involved. It's almost like they'd be stupid not to let Cam go.
Yeah.
I'm going to give some next gen stats on Christian McCaffrey, and then we'll speculate where Cam could be next year. Do you think McCaffrey's better with Cam in there or not? And a lot of people say he has to be better because Cam can run, right? And people talk about that all the time. But let's look at the next gen stats. The Panthers have increased their usage of under center formations from 12% with Cam to 33% with Kyle Allen. So now they're under. That means they're under center now 33% of the time. With Cam, it was 12% of the time. Carolina had the 3rd lowest under center rate in the past 3 seasons. They're 4.9 yards per play in the shotgun this season was the 5th lowest. 6.2 yards under center is the 2nd most. So under center, they have the 2nd most yards in the NFL. In shotgun, the 5th lowest. All right, so stay with me some more. Chris McCaffrey has also been more effective, significantly more explosive with the quarterback line under center this season, despite seeing less favorable boxes. He averages more than twice the yards per rush under center than shotgun runs. Under center, yards per rush, 7.3. Shotgun yardage, 3.5. So out of the shotgun, only 3.5 yards carry. 10-plus yard run percentage under shotgun. He has a 20% chance to run for 10 yards. I mean, not under shotgun, under center, Terry. 20% chance to get a 10-yard run. That means 1 out of every 5 plays, McCaffrey has a chance to get 10 yards running the ball under center. It's only 6% under shotgun. Success rate 48%, like I just said, 6% on that. Light box percentage 25 and 51 on that. He leads 34 running backs with 35 plus rushes under center. So there's some quick next gen stats on them. McCaffrey's playing better under the, because it is the more classic Terry North Turner play action game that we saw. I mean, it's Dallas Cowboys offense.
And I think teams now as well, they respect Kyle Allen more as a thrower than they did Cam Newton. So that's going to make the defenses cheat off a little bit and allow Christian McCaffrey to have more room when he's getting to the initial line of scrimmage. And I don't understand why people say that offensive line for Carolina really isn't that good. I think their offensive line's good enough. Not everybody can be the 49ers or Dallas's offensive line. So I think it's good enough. They've done a good job, but I think that the emergence for Christian McCaffrey this year has come a lot off of Kyle Allen's success of spreading the ball out. a little bit more to different receivers than Cam Newton keying in really on a Greg Olsen post pattern, you know?
Your big arm only gets you so far.
Right.
In the NFL, you got to be accurate. I mean, you could throw you can be able to throw 70 yards all you want. Jamarcus Russell could throw it 90 yards about. But if you can't put it in a spot in a window, and Allen has thrown a couple of balls this past few weeks, just floating on them, dropping them down over some safeties and stuff. And I told someone I was watching, I was like, that was a Tony Romo throw. And what I meant by that is that there's a difference between guys that throw people open and get them to spots. That was a Drew Brees throw, a Tony Romo throw, where you throw it in that one spot where only that guy can catch it. And some quarterbacks don't do that. I think Kyle's been doing it. I'm not saying they're going to win. He's 5-1. What are you supposed to do? And they only lost is to who?
Jimmy
the
G.
only undefeated team in the NFL. So, I mean, you can't
It
really.
wasn't a loss. That was a spanking. But
all right. If the playoff start today, it'd be Minnesota at Green Bay, Seattle at Dallas, New Orleans and San Francisco with byes in the AFC, Indy at Houston, Buffalo and Chiefs, Ravens and Patriots with the byes. Who you guys got favorites in the Super Bowl right now?
Make it. To make it. Well, I believe Patrick Mahomes is still going to come back to the Chiefs. I think they're hoping he comes back this week. So to me, I'm going to continue to ride with my Chiefs pick. I would say the Patriots, but it seems like every week the Patriots keep losing some other player on the offensive side of the ball, and whether it's an offensive line or a skill player. So to me, I'm going to stick with my Chiefs pick with Patrick Mahomes coming back. And then from the NFC, I have no reason right now not to pick the 49ers. I have no reason. They're getting better through the air. We know what they can do on the ground, and they might have the best front four, if not front seven, in football. So to me, the 49ers right now are just standout.
I say this a lot about college football and Terry, and the NFL has turned into it this year. The same two teams I picked the last 3 years, I'm still picking them to make the Super Bowl again.
Patriots,
Saints and Patriots. The Patriots should have a home game. There's nobody the Saints play I think they fear, or I would fear them playing. I'm not saying they can't be beat by anyone or they're unbeatable. What I'm saying is that they're the most solid, all-around, most reliable team. Look at the strength of victory. San Francisco's only beat teams with 34% winning percentage. Saints have beat teams with over 500. Packers have beat teams over 500. Terry, Cowboys, 250. The only other teams that they got the worst that's the worst strength of victory in the NFC. Let's see who's in the AFC. Strength of victory. Oh my goodness. How about them Buffalo Bills?
Oh my goodness. 18%. How about New England though? It's only at 273.
27%.
Where Kansas City is at 529.
Yep. So a lot harder for.
I mean, New England. I mean, what else can they do? Look who they play.
Yeah, no.
Well, I know, but
I mean, you play the Jets and you play.
That's what you could. But you're going to make that argument. Now you're going to say the same thing about 49ers. What are you going to do?
All right, guys.
That's who they played.
Teams that could trade for Cam. All right, real quick. Coach Pruitt just called, by the way, Terry. He said 2 teams have dropped out of the 1A playoffs as of right now.
See, that's a bonus for them.
Yep. They were on the last 5 out.
They should get in before Pine Lake Prep for sure.
That if 2 teams dropped out, they got 2 teams ahead of them right now, Lakewood and Rosman by the thing. So it'll be Rosman and Cherryville could possibly get in. And I didn't realize that's the in-depthness that they go with those max preps ratings, Terry, where a football coach has to argue with the referee about getting more time on the clock so he could just score a touchdown, whether he's winning or losing.
When you have
is this not the same thing as the real quick the pitch count for baseball, and we're worrying about things that have nothing to do with the actual game of baseball and football?
I just hate the thought that you're talking about. I have to thrash someone or hope somebody else beat somebody real bad,
right?
He has to benefit me
for a blowout.
Yeah,
so your team
to benefit me.
He was in the position,
and I don't blame him. If I was the coach,
year.
I would be doing the same thing, and I don't blame him for wanting more
You
time.
always hate it when your destiny is in the hands of somebody else.
Yeah.
That's how Pittsburgh was last year when Baltimore and Cleveland was playing each other. Pittsburgh would have got in if Cleveland upset Baltimore, so they're sitting there when the game's over watching on the big screen to see if it happens, and it just didn't happen.
See, that's one thing with those max preps ratings is that you just don't know exactly how they're going to do this. And the thing with ours, no matter how good the 3A team you beat, you get 3 points. So if you beat Crest or North Gaston, you get 3 points. And yes, it's not the maybe the greatest way, but it's the most fair that we can come up with, and it's worked in our poll pretty well over the years. So just a little note on that. All right, which one of these teams would possibly be interested in trading for Cam Newton at the end of the year?
Tennessee.
Hold on.
Oh.
Give me yes or no, Hunter. The Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah. Well,
They'd
they're gonna
take
have
anything.
they're gonna have the first pick though. If they are set on a draft prospect, then but yes.
Dolphins.
Yes. Okay, technically yes, they could. Yes.
I just find that hard that anybody's going to want him.
Well, that's another discussion.
With 5 quarterbacks coming out that everybody's high
That's what
on.
I'm saying. I find it hard.
Broncos.
Yes.
Why?
Shannon Sharp wants him over there bad.
Yeah, but I don't think.
But it doesn't fit what John Elway wants on that
Tennessee
team.
Titans.
Yes.
They got so many quarterbacks there.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, they got Nick
they got
Foles,
Nick
and
Foles.
they've got Minshew at backup.
Yeah, they're
All
good.
right.
They're pretty
in the
set.
AFC possibilities, according to my experts, Bengals, Dolphins, and maybe Broncos and Titans.
Yeah, teams right now that you know have got a quarterback controversy. But even then, what was his name? That Allen kid that came in last week for the Broncos won.
Yeah.
NFC. Does your Redskins think about?
They don't want to do that.
They'll do anything.
Honestly, I was about to say,
but they
they might not want to,
but
I mean,
they'll
they
do
might.
anything.
But I think Washington would be a prime example landing spot for them because they have a lot of PR problems. Cam Newton could bring some limelight or attention to the franchise.
Yeah, we don't need.
I mean, what's the plan if they don't bring in Cam? Hope they draft someone, and these like the Trent Williams situation. I don't see how y'all are going to be good for the next 2 years just based on that and other players
Well,
wanting
here's
to be
the thing:
there.
they're talking. They could have moved him, but they're thinking they can get more for him when this next season comes up. And
Atlanta
I'm just-
don't want him.
No.
Giants don't want him. Tampa,
maybe.
Maybe.
He's Jameis, but can see.
they
you
can
know?
run.
Yeah,
Can
doesn't-
see.
Yeah, he doesn't, he doesn't throw
Jameis.
quite the picks. Have you seen
I
all
mean,
the
if you
memes?
go on up through there, there's very few.
Have you seen all the memes
Yeah.
of Jay? He's always just like,
What about the Chicago
Squinting.
Bears? Everybody's saying Bears.
No.
well, could they use him? Yeah,
I see a
but will
ton
they?
of people on TV saying Bears. So what you looking at?
Well, the Bears are in a situation like how Carolina was in 2015. They have the defense. All they need is the quarterback. So
Bears, Bucks, Redskins, Dolphins, Bengals,
Browns.
no, Broncos and Titans. Terry, give me one you think would be the best fit, not for the team, for Cam.
Denver.
Cam and Denver. Hunter,
Tennessee.
what would be the best fit for a team to have Cam Newton?
The best fit for the team would be one that just is just out and
Who
left.
could he
still
help the
think
most?
Denver.
You think Denver?
Because you got a
Who was
defense
the
there,
NFC
he's
team?
not going to have to do much.
Well, then I could say the same thing about their
NFC
counterpart in
was
the NFC, the
Bears.
Bears. The Bears essentially are Denver of the NFC. Great defense, just no offense.
So the thing about it is he's 31 years old. So if you're Washington, if you're one of these teams, you say, are we close enough to get Cam and make a run in the playoffs?
see,
that's
and
what
Washington's
you're
not.
hoping for.
Yeah.
And
if you're
Washington's
not in that, if you're not in that position, why would you take a
He had
chance?
never helped
and
Tampa
hope he's
Bay.
healthy.
And the thing with Washington
Terry-
too is we don't
Terry,
we're
I'm gonna
not
back
in a
up on that one.
position.
He had never helped
I
Tampa
think
Bay.
he could help Tampa.
Bruce Arians
a
would
little
at
bit.
least help. Well, he'd do better
Because
than
I think he would
Jameis.
do better than Jameis a little bit, and he would love to play in that NFC South again. And that South is so bad right now, you don't even know. I mean,
Jameis Winston can hit your mediocre passes. Cam
You're right.
cannot.
The thing with me in Washington, here's the thing. I don't want to even want to know what you would have to give up just to get Cam Newton on trade. And we, as a team, as an organization, are in no position.
I've seen
to
anywhere
have
from
to,
first
You
to
could
fourth
get
rounders.
Norman back.
It just depends how bad you want him.
They're not going to trade for Josh. We would honestly have to do a player for player. They would have to ask for Trent Williams, and we would have to take Cam. That would just be straight up. And even I think we're on the losing side of that.
Should the Browns offer the Redskins
Freddie Kitchens?
No. Yes, to offer him everything. Yeah, that'd be included.
Yeah.
Beckham for Williams.
We thought they were going to do that at the trade deadline.
Not Beckham for him, but a first round or second round pick. I'm talking straight Odell Beckham for Trent Williams.
No, that was the conversation, was trading Odell Beckham out for Trent Williams. I know we wanted a pick,
Right.
but a lot of conversation was, well, Odell's not working in Cleveland anyways.
Oh, let
Why
y'all
not-
deal with him.
Why not move him to a dysfunctional organization anyways
y'all
and
deal
take
with
Trent Williams? Would we do it? We'd be stupid enough. You know, we went out and made a big signing of Landon Collins, so
Yeah.
we're all for big splashy stuff if it doesn't help the team.
Well, Kareem Hunt comes back, returns this
Browns.
week for the Browns. Might be too little, too late at 2-6. Probably is. They need to stick to the run game. The coach, you can't first year coach, young quarterbacks don't need guys that have never coached before in the NFL. That's not a good recipe at all. If you're bringing a rookie coach, bring him in with Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yep.
Drew Brees.
the
or
only one
something
that
like
looks
that.
like it's working is Kingsbury, but that's because
They were together.
Yeah, they were together.
They were together in college. They knew each other, right?
Yeah, from Texas A&M.
So, Raven. All right, let's go down real quick. Got to get out of here soon. Lions at Bears, 2.5 by Bears.
I'm taking the Lions.
Yes.
Ravens favored by 10 in Cincinnati.
I'm on to the Baltimore Ravens.
Bills Cleveland favored by 3. They must know that the Cinephonies are going to be in the dog pound today.
No, I know what that is. The line really should be even, but because Cleveland's at home, they're going to give them 3.
And Kareem Hunt today, I'd give them 4.
I'm going to take the Bills.
I don't think the Bills can score on the Browns.
But I don't think the Browns can score either.
That's me. I don't think they
I don't. To me, this is going to be like a 6-3 game.
You hadn't seen Kareem Hunt though. Now you got Chubb and Hunt.
Yeah, depends on when Mayfield's going to throw his interception.
Now that don't matter.
That is true.
Chiefs at Titans. Chiefs by 6.5.
Chiefs.
Titans
even
win.
I'm taking the Chiefs, even with or without Mahomes today.
Are you picking Ryan Tannehill?
You got it.
To beat Patrick Mahomes.
Titans playing.
They still haven't announced if Mahomes is playing or not. So
I
it's
thought
either
they did.
him or
Now.
Matt.
I thought
Oh,
they
did
did
they?
say-
It doesn't matter.
I
I think Matt Moore can do it either way.
I saw unless something drastic happens, Mahomes is starting. Is
Okay,
what the quote from Andy Reid was.
Well, there we go then.
$114 you can get Falcons at Saints today.
Why would you want to see this blowout?
13.5-point favorite Saints.
Saints, and they cover every bit of it. I think it's a 17-point win for New Orleans.
Do the Saints sign?
They have a great quarterback
do the Saints
to be
get Dez,
1-7.
I know, right? Do the Saints get Dez Bryant in? He's talking about making a return in the next few weeks.
I don't know what teams are meeting with him, but the Saints need another option because Ted Ginn Stonehands is not helping out his cause, and Michael Thomas can't be the lone receiver every week.
Oh, right. Giants at Jets.
This is a
the
dumpster
worst,
fire of a game.
Giants favored by 3 points on the road in their own stadium.
Giants win.
Yeah, I'm taking the Giants.
Yeah.
I would take the Giants.
Well, let me say that again. The 2-7 Giants are favored on the road by 3 points against the
Fun little
1-7
tidbit
Jets.
for you.
Jets. Who the Jets beat this year?
The Jets beat Dallas.
Yeah, we all know that. Like
then-
we have to be told.
Oh, and who chose? And I chose Miami last week to beat the Jets, and guess what? It happened.
Buccaneers favored by 5 at home against the Kyler Murrays.
Tampa Bay wins.
I'll take Tampa Bay. They score too many points to keep losing.
Colts at home by 11.
Indianapolis
favored over the Dolphins.
Give me the Colts.
Oh, we'll wait to that in a second. Rams at Steelers. 4 points for the Rams.
Rams.
I'm gonna take the Steelers playing at home.
Panthers in Green Bay.
Forget it.
Raining, 35 degrees.
Raining, a.k.a. it's probably going to be some sleet.
Packers by 5.5.
Packers.
Take your Packers.
I don't think Kyle Allen's ready
Taking
for
the
that
points
game.
too?
I'll take Green Bay 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In Dallas, Sunday night football. Cowboys favored by 3 versus the Vikings.
I'm going to take...
That means they think it's a push them too. Should you just tell them about Cleveland?
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Really even, but Cowboys at home. I'm going to take the Cowboys at home.
Terry,
I think Dallas will win.
I'll give you the reason why the Cowboys are going to win.
It's a late night Kirk Cousins game.
Kirk Cousins all-time record versus winning teams. You ready for this?
Yeah.
5-25.
Not to mention it's a late night primetime
Kirk
game.
Cousins all-time versus teams with winning records is 5-25. Now, he does have a good defense, and he's playing a team that hasn't beat really any. Have y'all beat a good team yet, Terry?
Have we
I'm
beat
trying
a
to
good
remember.
team?
Yeah, you got 5
You
wins.
beat
no.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia would be
If
the
they
only
count.
one.
Do they have a winning record right now? I
they're
can't
5
remember.
or
I think
4.
they're 5.
So they got the one with the winning record. So the 3 points I think is a good number from Vegas.
I think that Monday
actually
night game
on the
might be
betting
the
line.
best Monday night games that we've had this year.
Monday night, baby. The defending NFC champions have a winning record this year and are in 3rd place in their division.
I know, the Rams.
The defending NFC champions are in 3rd place with a winning record in their division this year. Seahawks 7-2 go to 49ers undefeated. 49ers are favored by 6.5. I thought that would be closer to 3 before I looked at it.
But I'm going to take the 49ers because it's at home. If it was in Seattle, I would think a little bit differently. But I'm going to take the 49ers at home.
And I'm taking Seattle.
All right, folks. JP, we're just going to wind out the show here in the last
Fun
minute
fact
or two.
for you guys, this Sunday
Yes.
will be the best Sunday of the week for me for football because Washington cannot let me down. They have a bye.
You know, we always talk about positivity around here. And,
Exactly.
and that's the thing you have
You got
to
to
look
stay
at.
positive.
So I want to switch over real quick. Last minute, Kemba Walker came back to Charlotte this week for the first time. He's got the Celtics in 1st place. The Hornets without Kemba, pretty much the same record. 500. Giving up 113. They're 500 and they're giving up 8 more points a game than they're scoring, Hunter. That means they beat some bad teams, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The East, Terry, how bad is the East? Knicks, Wizards, Bulls, Magic, Hawks, Cavs are all out of the playoffs. I can't think of any of them teams being any good for anything. The Hornets have a chance to make the playoffs by everyone else being so terrible.
And
in the
everybody's
East.
got the Hornets possibly having the worst record when the season's over.
I mean, I said they're going to win 8 games, but I forgot the East is just horrible. So over in the West, real quick, how much better they are. Dallas Mavericks could probably be a 2 or 3 seed, maybe a 1 seed in the East.
Oh, easily.
They're in the 8 in the West. Outside looking in is Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Portland.
That's what I'm
Didn't
saying.
they make the
Portland.
They made the Western Conference Finals last year, didn't they? They're
3
and 6. They're in the 11th spot right now. Lakers in 1st. Denver, they came in 2nd last year. They're in 2nd again. Clippers in 3rd with time management. Terry, and Hunter, here's my stats from the Hornets game the other night.
Mm-hmm.
These are some fun stats. At halftime, Kemba Walker and Rozier were combined 0 for 12, Terry. The backup with 3 points. The backup point guard at halftime had 9 points and 5 assists, Devontae Graham. While the other two combined 0 for 12, and they're getting paid a combined, $40 million? And this rookie's over here balling on them.
Second-year player.
Yeah, second-year player. The Hornets had one starter, Hunter. One starter in double figures against the Celtics. That was Miles Bridges. Graham finished with 15 and 9 off the bench and 4 rebounds. It might be time for him to be starting over Rozier. Rozier, one of 11.
They can't afford to do that with that contract they're paying him.
He can be paid to be the 6th man, can't he? Terry, your guys. Kemba finished with 14 in a 4 of 12.
Think of him, though, y'all. I mean, that he's got to love what he's doing. He does not have to be the guy that scores all the points. But he's got people around him that can help him.
He's got 3 wings, all of them in double figures. Brown of 12, Hayward 20, Tatum of 23.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you something, Terry. Next gen stats tell you about Kemba. Even with all that help,
plus minus.
Well, that I ain't got to that. Kemba is shooting more shots this year than he has in his whole career.
Brad Stevens must give him the green light.
He has increased his shots even from Charlotte.
Well,
so you're right. He does have a green light. So that's the Hornets thing. The Celtics thing to deal with now, folks. We've had a good day here. Tune in NASCAR this weekend. Only a couple more races left. Terry, who got to win? Is Truex going to win it? Kyle Busch?
Kyle Busch.
I think Truex is going to pull off his another championship.
I think he is too. As much as I like Kyle Busch, doesn't matter. It looks like JGR is going to come out on top. Either way, I'm taking Truex.
All right, guys. We'll see you next weekend. For John Prather, Hunter Yancey, Terry Reinhardt, I'm Kevin Hastings. Have a good Veterans Day weekend and safe. I was just pausing for a second, see if JP hit the button. See you guys next week. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Old Man Winter is just around the corner, and I'm sure you're tired of getting in and out of your car in the rains. That problem is no problem at all with a call to Acre Enterprises in Cherryville. They have